Alrighty. What are you doing first? I'll go with you. I haven't had these.
I'm gonna go Mandarin.
All right, Mandarin.
Well, get that.
Shouts out to Bar Chemistry. Him and his boys made these seltzers, and they're all over the place. They're based on Asian fruits, so we got Mandarin here.
Mandarin.
Tasty. Do you ever get annoyed?
Delicious.
Do you ever get annoyed editing your stuff and like hearing your own voice at all times?
When it's more, I would say, when you edit your own stuff or watch anything that you ever do, I think the most upsetting thing is you're so nitpicky about yourself. So like sometimes you'll see like a stupid expression or you'll say something not how you wish you would have said it, and you're just like, oh God.
Not how you wish you would have said it. What do you mean?
Meaning like, let's say you're doing a scene or something where you were angry in it or something. Sometimes there's a certain way that you say a word differently or a different expression on your face where you're like, dude, that looks so bad and it didn't sell.
Give me an example.
Like act right now?
Yeah.
Damn it. I'm trying to, I don't know if I have any examples off the top of my head, but I don't know, just a simple direction. Like if I'm talking to you or something, sometimes in the take you'll get mad and your eyes will do something like this, or you'll say like often when you're like trying to think of what where you walk in a room, for example, and you go, enough! Sometimes that'll come off like a little higher pitched and you're just like, oh.
Do you think it's just that we notice those things because we're looking at, for me, it's like podcasting, you know?
Yeah.
And I'm like, dang, why am I not like looking this way? Or I said like or too much or this and that, blah, blah, blah. Like, do you think other people notice it just as much as you do? No,
not at all. I mean, I feel like people watch, people always congratulate you on stuff. They're always like, it was so good. You're the first person in your head that's like, I see everything. Even when it comes to like, when I edit projects, if I'm going to show you something that I'm doing, I'll show the edit and I'll preface you with everything. I'll be like, it's missing this. It's missing this. This, I don't like how the time's flowing here. And like, people are typically like, just show me it. It's fine. But I'm the one that sees everything.
Yeah.
So
I get that a lot with fitness stuff.
what do you mean?
Like, oh, dude, you're like really strong and talented in this stuff. It's like, nah.
No,
you know?
I'm not yeah.
Do you get that as well? Because I saw like old photos of you. I was like stalking you earlier. Like, you were a fat kid too. Like,
oh yeah. That's part of the reason, not to like tangent off what you just said, but that's part of the reason I love fitness is I will never forget those moments growing up where like in choir class, you'd be standing in line. I used to wear Abercrombie. That was not made for kids overweight back then. They had no plus size or whatever. So I was wearing these larges that like press like your skin out. Yeah. And I remember people like, they would flick your boobs.
I remember
and they'd
that
be
too.
Like, man boobs. And you'd just be like, huh. Like you'd laugh. I used to be the kid that would like laugh at that. But like deep down, it would be like.
Very hurtful.
Yeah, and I'll never forget one of my best friends. I'm still best friends with him, but I wore shorts that I already knew made my butt look huge. I'm walking down the hallway.
Like in a good way or a bad way?
No, awful way.
Oh, okay.
It was just like, it made it look wider, even though I was a bigger kid. And I remember walking down the hallway and he goes like, damn, Zach, your ass is fat as fuck. And like everyone starts laughing. Damn. And I remember turning
That's
over
a good compliment these days.
Oh, these days it's like, if someone said that to me now, I'd be like, nice.
I also think butts weren't in back then. Like,
no, butts weren't.
I feel like flat asses were like it. Like even girls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was weird.
Yeah.
But what was your original question?
Fitness. Or why did you like fitness now?
Just I'll never forget those feelings and how hard it was to get out of that. Meaning a lot of my friends had 8-packs, you know, like kids. They were just
I feel like the
skinny.
genetics. Yeah. It's like all these kids were shredded back then and now they're not. And I would say like me and you are way more fit than like the average person that we went to elementary school with.
Exactly.
You know, it's kind of ironic.
Yeah.
And you said you appreciate fitness a lot more because of this. What do you mean by that?
Just I'll never forget how hard that journey was. And like there were times where you doubted like, is this for you, or will you ever be able to achieve that ideal body that you want?
Yeah.
But still to this day, I'll look back at old photos and I'll remember that time period where I was like, I hate myself in this photo. You'll look at it now and you'll be like, why am I not him anymore? So like, even no matter
why am I not him anymore?
Meaning like, I want to be back to when I'd like, let's say it was an old photo from like 6 months ago.
Okay.
I'll remember looking at myself at that time and being like, I hate how I look. 6 months later, wherever I am fitness wise, even if I've progressed more in strength and all this stuff, I'll now look at that old photo and be like, I want to go back to him because I'm not happy here, if that makes sense. No matter what change, I'll always see that old version of myself.
That's what I was talking about with the compliment of fitness compared to editing. It's like, oh, like I'm still not satisfied. And I don't think we ever will be. I think that's the caveat to it. It's like, it's just the journey part of it.
Yeah.
The fitness part for you, where did it start? Like, did it start at F45? I don't think so, right?
No, it...
Me and Zach met at F45 2020?
That was, when I started 2020. And then I sold my soul, and now I'm there every single day of my life if I'm not doing anything else.
It's a good community. I feel like a lot of people go there and they want to get in and out quickly, 45 minutes.
Yep.
And the type of people that go there are people who want to get it in.
Yeah.
But also have a lot of busy stuff in LA, and they're creatives a lot. And I have a lot of my connections are from F45. I have a lot of to owe to F45, to be honest.
That was my favorite thing about F45 is when I first originally started at the studio I'm at, the WeHo one, community was very at an all-time low.
You guys brought that studio up.
Yeah,
I remember training there, dude, and working there, and there was no one there compared to Studio City, and everyone was down.
Dude, everyone would, like you said, people want to come in and they want to get out. That was what I remember seeing when we first started, is like people, say you were saying something at the end of class, people would be gone. Like you'd be talking, you'd turn around and you'd be like,
they're out.
Gone. And so I think that's what makes fitness so special to it, like why people do workout classes, is you got to make that time special for them. Like, and it's so cool to see that the relationships that you build with people, sometimes now they just sit on the floor and hang out and just chat until you have to be like, hey, I got to go.
Yeah.
You guys need to get up.
What do you think that change was that you did? That you and Rizzo?
Yeah, Rizzo. Yeah, he's where I've learned all my crazy tactics, whether it's like progressions for people or just the attention and the focus.
Yeah.
He's the mastermind of it all, and like I always look up to him. But I think it's one of the biggest things that changed there is just the attention and showing importance to people and letting them know this sucks. It's hard, but you can always push yourself more. And I think that's one of the biggest things that changed. Like even for Rizzo, members from other studios that he used to coach at would travel all the way to ours just to be pushed by him. And so I think that's what I'm saying. Everyone's important.
No, it's just impressive what you guys done to the studio, because I thought that studio was gonna go out of business, bro.
Yeah,
it's 100%. And from what I understood is like you had no previous coaching experience.
Yeah, the most I knew is just my athletic background. Yeah. Meaning like I played baseball, football all my life growing up.
Yeah, what was the fitness arc, bro?
Yeah, so I never thought fitness would be this huge in my life.
Kind of ironic though, because you're like a fitness model.
Yeah, well, that's it. So that's a whole other thing that I've never expected.
Like that was a big hero's journey.
Bro. It's weird. I don't know where to start with like that comment. Meaning like I've already talked about obviously like being heavier growing up. And I used to have horrible acne. Like I was on Accutane, which I would advise everyone to use if you need it.
You think so?
Well, it's
every time I see someone who says they take Accutane, their skin dries up like crazy.
It's awful. So this is what I was gonna say. Take Accutane. It changed my life. But for 2 months, I thought there's nothing else in this world for me. Like meaning it's crazy. Like if you look at what I mean by that, the progress photos, month 1, got a big old smile on my face. I'm like, here we go. Here's the journey.
Yeah.
Month 2, you dry out, meaning like even if I scrape myself with my bathroom towel, gone. Like you would rip off a piece of your skin. Your lips were all chapped the entire time. Like month 2, I look miserable in my photo.
I remember seeing people in high school with it. I'm just like, this cannot be okay for you.
No, they make you sign waivers. They make you sign waivers for Accutane that basically say, like, I understand what I'm putting in my body. The amount of like no-nos on your package.
No-nos.
Meaning like when you're on Accutane, the amount of things that you can't do and side effects that you may experience. Like there's stuff where it's like, you may see things, you may hear things that aren't there. Your mood will go up and down. It says consult a doctor if you ever feel like you have no purpose in life anymore. Like these are all things that are like, watch out for them. But
you're selling Accutane right now for sure.
I am. It's great. And I do remember the only side effect I had was Some days you would be a little moody.
Okay.
Like your mom could wake you up.
So you didn't see things?
No, I never saw anything. I don't think. Maybe. I maybe still do today. But your mom would wake you up in the morning and be like, good morning. And for some reason, some days you'd be like, shut up.
Yeah.
Well, why are you saying good morning? And then some days you'd be like, oh, good morning. No, but where was I?
Accutane fitness.
Oh, the fitness journey. Yes. So, yeah, I'm just starting from the very beginning. Acne, overweight. I don't know. I had very low self-esteem, I'd say, growing up. Like, I never looked at myself as, I don't know, I was never proud of me growing up. And with it being made fun of for those, whatever, being overweight or the acne and stuff, people used to be like, oh, you got poison ivy on your face. And you'd be like, no. But now I'm aware of it. Going from that to now being heavily involved in fitness, but also being appreciated as a fitness model is the weirdest thing, because I still don't see that, if that makes sense.
You don't identify as a fitness model.
No, it's weird. It's literally posing for cameras and stuff. I can do it for about like five out of the 10 photos. Yeah. I'll be able to like lock in and just be like, this.
Do you practice?
No. Oh, but I mean, I've learned from because my best friend Jake, he's obviously a model. And
he's solid, bro. When I see some of his photos, Jake be out here with like the most confident thong, bro.
Dude, literally, he'll post like the whole V thing going down like right here in his thigh, like on Instagram. And you're like, oh.
But so will he run you through it, like the mindset of modeling?
Well, I'd ask him for poses and stuff like that, because that's what I don't know. Yeah. Like you got like the little arm grab, you play with your collar like this and stuff, but like after that, you're like, what do I do?
Yeah. Well, you're like shirtless with some of the fitness stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how to pose, bro. I've tried. I'm like, that looks weird. Yeah. Like flexing's okay. Like I can flex and pose like a bodybuilder pose. Yeah. But in terms of modeling fit stuff, like I appreciate it a lot. Like when I see Christina do her stuff, or like a lot of our other fit friends, and I'm just like, yo, like, how are you doing that?
Yeah, they make it look so natural. I mean, they'll just like...
I mean, you do too, bro. I've seen your stuff lately.
See, this is what I'm talking about in the beginning. In my head, nah. Yeah. Like, I don't feel like I'm doing what everyone else does, but I mean, it turns out, well, you got people guiding you.
Did it go straight to sports from Accutane Zach? The fitness. You
fitness.
went from beginning to the end, bro.
Oh, sorry.
What's the middle part? I want the meat.
I skipped. No, I just... once I moved out here, I obviously went through that like weight loss journey where you lost all the weight, then you wanted to gain some muscle back. I even, sorry, I love going on tangents.
No, you're good, bro.
But growing up, once I lost all the weight, I got down to like 150 with my height, and I'm 6'3".
150 at 6'3". Yeah. So you became skinny.
Oh, it was like neck, and I remember kids being like, you look so good.
Did you just not eat?
No, I ran all the time.
You ran.
I was going, I think, 4 miles every Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday, and then...
Oh, so you planned it out.
Yeah, 3.5 miles every Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
Wow.
And then that on top of baseball and football, people would compliment you, and so you're like, I'm going to keep doing this. But then when I gained the weight back, they were all like, thank God, you look disgusting. So that's why you can't trust people. They'll tell you what you want to hear, and then you're like, nice.
I think at that point, it's like you need to appreciate just your perspective on yourself.
Yeah, that's the most important thing.
Because, for example, I just got a haircut. I grew my hair out super long.
Yeah, you did.
There's a ton of people who are like, oh, it looks great. And then there's a ton of people who are like, that looks like shit. And then when I got a haircut, everyone's like, thank God you fucking cut your hair. And then a lot of people were like, oh, I liked your hair long. I was like, okay, fuck everyone.
Yeah, I don't know what to believe or anything. Yeah, no, I totally get it. But yeah, that was that journey that I went through, losing the weight, learning that I also looked bad then, gaining the weight, trying to figure out how muscle worked. I started diving more into fitness at this point. That's where I started understanding it a little more. And then it was during COVID, actually. My buddies down in Manhattan Beach actually ran a fitness group for moms that wanted to work out during that time.
Let's go, moms.
I know. Moms were like, we want to get after it. So they would run circuits, and I would help them with it. And I thought it was, I think one of the coolest feelings is pushing people, like being a part of those circuits, training them, correcting form, and like having afterwards when they were like, thank you so much, like we feel so good about like what we've been doing and confident about ourselves. That's when it started sparking more. It's just because I know how hard it was myself in those moments where you want to give up.
You could relate a lot more.
Oh, yeah.
Than someone who's been fit their entire life.
Yeah. And the ups and downs that I went through, those moments where you think maybe it's not for you, you'll never achieve it. That's connecting with those people when they said thank you. Like, that was amazing. And, like, I really feel motivated to keep going. That's where I started catching the bug. And I was like, this is really cool to be there a part of someone else's journey, because there's moments where, like, I love terrorizing people in F45. If I see them late cancel, like their name grays out, I will go straight to those numbers in the system.
You'll hit them up.
And I'll send the fake F45 message where I'm like, hey, this is Coach Zach from F45, wondering where the f you are. And, like, just to motivate them to, hey, come through. Like, I miss you and I want you in here working out.
Yeah.
It's fun to do.
F45 doesn't pay you to do that. Why do you do that?
The tack them?
Yeah.
It's just me. I love, you grow so close with these people. You see them every single day.
Yeah. They'll see you more than they see their family a lot.
Oh, yeah. Sometimes I'll use that place as therapy. Yeah. Meaning, like, you could be having the worst day, but I look forward to being inside those walls with everyone. Yeah. Everything else just turns off, and you're just there with them.
That's such a good perspective as a coach, because a lot of coaches, too, you could tell when a coach brings their baggage in. And then everyone in the class is just like not having a good time.
It's uncomfortable too. Yeah, we've had there was an old coach that used to work there that, like, nothing's more uncomfortable than if you're lifting and your coach is walking around like, no, sorry, I'm having a bad day.
Yeah,
and you're like, well, what's wrong? He's like, it's just really bad, and you're just like, okay, like, what? So, yeah. Also, where I'm going with that too is just, if you're off, you're just guiding those people to be off. Yeah. Like, their motivation may drop down and stuff. Like, it's good to be on.
It's a negative spiral effect.
Oh yeah.
And if you're on too, it makes your day even better, because you see their smiles, you see their stuff, and then, like, everyone's just like, let's fucking go. Let's win the day. Especially if it's at 6 a.m., bro. No one's trying to, like, see a downer at 6 a.m. Like, get that energy up.
Yeah.
And you're like an Energizer bunny, bro. Like, I've seen you work out with them as a coach. Like, I did, like, a couple reps. You do, like, the whole 60 seconds of 3 stations with this fool.
You got it. Otherwise, they'll stop. Dude, sometimes, like, especially if you, like, are doing plyometric moves or burpees or anything. Yeah. If I'm sitting there saying, like, all right, here, we're going to do this, and I don't do it with them, sometimes they'll just be like, no.
Yeah.
And you're like, all right, well, I'm going to do it until you feel bad. And then they'll
It's usually right away.
Oh, yeah. Usually they're like, oh, we're going.
How did the fit modeling start?
Fit modeling, actually, Christina helped. She, her agency for fit modeling and stuff like that, she saw that I was doing more fitness. She saw that I was, like, it was becoming a huge part of my life, and I was getting more in shape in a healthy way, I guess, meaning, like, learning more about the body and how to grow it how you want.
Not starving yourself.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, what? You can actually eat? No, but she introduced me to her agency, and then from there, they've gotten me more outlets and whatnot.
Oh, sick. And just spiral effect?
Yeah, spiral effect. And then also, what was it? I think actually Fabletics reached out to me.
They saw you?
Before the whole agency thing, because I think that's what sparked it in Christina's mind to invite me for that opportunity. Fabletics was randomly doing fitness videos online, like this stuff where it's like, come on, gang, you got 15 seconds. Hop down, 2, 3.
Give me the bear crawls, go.
Oh, yeah. And back, and 4.
I could eat breakfast off my back, bro.
Oh, dude, I was like, you're quoting something that seems super familiar. No,
I'm quoting Zach's
you got it.
Bear crawl.
Paint the visuals, dude. It helps. And it gets people laughing, too.
Oh, for sure.
Picturing a little glass of orange juice on your back. Pancakes.
I see it right now.
Oh, dude, right?
It's moving, though. You gotta do like side steps while you're eating breakfast.
Exactly. That's how I eat. No, but they reached out, I think, and they were looking for people to do that because I was training.
I don't know how Fabletics, like, blew up.
Yeah.
Blew up. Everyone be wearing Fabletics.
Oh, it's crazy.
Even, like, Studio City Hills moms be wearing Fabletics, bro.
It's wild. Well, they have that...
because they're not that expensive.
No, they have that crazy deal where if you... I don't know how much the VIP package is, but then if you do that, you can get, like, 6 pairs of shorts for, like, $25.
Yeah.
Look at me doing another brand deal. It's just advertising all these things.
Advertising F45, advertising
Accutane.
Accutane. Yeah. The funny thing with Accutane though is the miserable part seems so miserable. Like, is it? Do you think it was worth it? Like, do you think it like eventually it would have gotten out of it, wouldn't you?
Yeah. What do you mean gotten out?
Like eventually, like if you didn't take Accutane,
I don't know. Maybe I wouldn't have.
Yeah.
But I just remember like I used to have
like there has to be a better way than Accutane, bro.
Yeah. Well, people don't do what people tell you when they. Biggest pet peeve: people that are like, you need to wash your face more. I'm like, oh,
it dries it out more, or I don't know.
Well, no, it was they would always say that like I wasn't already washing my face, and you'd be like, thank you.
I hate it when people are like, yeah, they got the most beautiful skin, and they're like, I just use water,
man,
and I sleep well. And I'm like, must be nice, bro. Like, dude, I got a 10-step facial routine over
icing,
here.
Icing, it's the key,
bro. So, what made you obsessed with telling stories and making videos?
It starts all the way back when I was 9. My brother and I, we used to do Jackass movies in the backyard.
So is that like the prank stuff?
Yeah, the stunts where we would jump off the swing set, hit each other in the nuts, ride the skateboards down the driveway, and then premiere it for the family.
What inspired you to make videos? Like someone had to give you your first camera.
No, so I guess that was the journey. Is I loved Jackass. Like my friends and I, we loved watching those movies, and after we saw that, my brother and I was Bam Margera, he was Johnny Knoxville, is what we called ourselves. We made a whole
9?
Yeah, at 9.
First off, your parents let you watch Jackass at 9?
That's a whole other story. I love them for it because they were there for it. It wasn't like they were just like, here, put this on, I don't care.
Okay.
They were there to watch it with us and explain stuff. I got in trouble for stuff like that in school too. They would call parent-teacher conferences because I would draw South Park characters.
Oh, shit.
And they were like, do you know your son's watching this? My parents would be like, yeah, we watch it with him. Teacher's mom would be like, what? But... So I
kind of love that.
I know.
I mean, you're going to learn it eventually.
Yeah. And they were there. Like I said, if I was watching that alone, it'd be a little different because I would just be left there to let my mind race.
Interpret it in a different way.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, take it. Yeah. Use it in my life. I don't know. No, but we would do that. And then we would just use the family video camera then. And when we started doing that, my dad hooked me up with his old iMac that he had in college. Like the old one that had the rotating like screen and stuff.
I don't even know that one.
Yeah, it's old.
And I was about to say, I don't even remember anyone having an iMac. Like, my parents didn't have any Mac until recently.
Really?
They had like Dells and stuff.
Yeah, that's normal.
Okay.
My dad's IT, so he had all the cool gadgets.
He had the cool gadgets.
Yeah, we had the...
So he had like the first Mac.
Yeah, first iPhone too.
Oh,
like
wow.
the iPhone 2G.
Okay.
And then I got passed down it when I was... what was I? 7th grade.
So he got rid of the BlackBerry very early.
Oh, yeah. I don't even know if he ever had one.
Oh, wow.
He was always up to date. He's always there.
And let you watch South Park at the same time.
Yeah, cool dad. Cool dad, cool mom. No, but it was really cool. He hooked me up with his Mac, and he showed me how to open the program. iMovie at the time.
iMovie was around then?
Dude, that was so, I was 9, 2005.
I know.
Yeah, way back then.
That's crazy.
I think 9, 2005, yeah.
Let's go math.
Math guy. No, but I'll never forget how he showed me the software. He opened it for me. He said, I'll show you it.
Before we continue this week's conversation, I just wanted to take a quick moment and talk to you about our friends at Mudwater. Their original blend is a coffee alternative made of 100% organic cacao, masala chai, turmeric, lion's mane, reishi, and cordyceps to give you natural energy and focus without the jitters or crash. When I know I'm going to have a long day ahead of me, I mix the Mudwater original blend with some whole milk and a couple drops of honey to elevate my day. In my opinion, it's more flavorful than a chai latte and is better fuel for my body. To elevate your day and get the benefits of coffee without the jitters or crash, click the link below to receive 20% off. And back to the show.
I will never forget that first lesson that my dad taught me with the computer. He opened it for me, opened the software, and then he was like, I have my own job. I don't have time to teach you this. So you are going to teach yourself. You'll learn it. You'll look up on the internet for any troubleshooting things. But if you
At 9, you were learning the internet,
Yeah,
bro?
exactly, dude. Whiz. No, but he said, this is up to you. at last, like your last resort is when you can turn to me and ask me a question.
So he knew how to edit and stuff.
I don't know if he was like a professional editor. Meaning, like, I don't know how often he used it, but obviously he's a dad and I was 9. So he probably knows a little bit more than me. But the one thing it taught me was I had to learn how to teach myself, meaning like troubleshooting, like how to ask questions. And that's what I loved about editing from the get-go is there's so much like thought process and just questions that you have to ask yourself in order to figure out the next step that eventually teaches you all the new skills as you progress. So like when I got into like more visual effects and stuff like that, you look up, because I love zombie movies, you'd look up how to remove someone's head on the internet, and then you would learn how to keyframe, you would learn how to remove the head, replace the background, do all these other tips that eventually progress into learning even more. So that was a cool thing about learning how to troubleshoot.
So if you looked up how to remove a zombie head on the internet, there would be...
Yeah, there's tutorials for everything in this world. It's so awesome. But
and also, like, there's not one tutorial for like Photoshop or one tutorial for Premiere Pro or anything like that. There's so many fucking buttons on it,
dude.
It took me forever. Like, I just looked at it and I would close it the first 50 times.
Do you use Premiere?
I use Premiere for the pod.
Yeah, the same thing. When I switched over to Premiere and all that, I remember opening the software for the first time and I said no. Turned it off.
Yeah.
I was like, I like iMovie.
iMovie is so simple.
So simple, yeah.
So simple.
But that's the cool thing about higher quality like editing softwares is it's more brain power that goes into just like, how do I figure this out?
It's a lot more technical and more... I don't know if brain power. It takes way more brain power than I thought. Like, I was like, I'm just gonna edit this. It'll be real quick. Piece of cake.
Yeah.
But it does take a smart person to figure this out. Like, no dumb person is gonna figure out Premiere Pro, bro.
I don't know if you know this. I don't want to give away your secrets, but Premiere has a podcast edit. You do?
I use it.
Okay.
Yeah. It saved me 3 hours.
Oh my God, it's crazy. It just goes dee, 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 and then it trims everything.
Yeah, I found it like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And
AI.
It saved me 3 hours, bro. It
Crazy.
takes 5 minutes.
That way you don't have to sit here and watch us talk for 2 hours.
I mean, you still do just to take notes and stuff.
Well, yeah, exactly.
But you don't need a clip from camera to camera to camera to camera.
Oh my God.
Like, I was doing that.
Yeah.
And the thing is, it solves a lot of people's jobs too, because I remember my buddy had a podcasting company.
Yeah.
Where he would like film everything and then clip it for them. And I think they're still around, but you don't need to anymore.
No.
You just put it in and then it clips itself. It's not as perfect though, but for someone who no one's paying attention that much.
No.
Like, I usually throw a podcast on when I consume them, like in the background, and I'm not watching fully.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, like they're not going to pay attention to each clip or anything like that.
I do.
You do?
Yeah, I would.
Do you watch podcasts?
No.
Okay.
Because I have to pay attention fully or I'll think about something else.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So what do you consume?
Music.
Mostly music?
And
Millennium?
music. Yeah. Yeah.
What do you love about that culture, bro?
Millennium specifically or?
Dubstep?
EDM, dubstep, all that stuff?
Yeah. I don't understand it.
It's...
I mean, like, I appreciate it for what it is. I don't know if... I like some DJs. Like, I think the last one I got really into was Avicii when he died.
Yeah, that was forever ago. I think my favorite thing about it was I started off like in like pop music and punk music. So like more kind of like upbeat.
Yeah.
And then I learned that there's remixes to pop songs. And you're like, whoa, these are more happy than the pop songs. And then from there...
More happy.
Yeah, meaning like it's more like when you're driving, you're just like, this is, I'm having fun. And then that's when it progressed into everything is then there's actual just people that make fast-paced music that just keep your heart going and stuff.
Yeah.
And then Millennium is a good combination of punk and pop and stuff like that and like EDM. So
with remixes and beats and all that stuff.
So it's sad. I call it sad boy music.
Okay.
All the lyrics are about broken hearts and just being sad.
Okay.
And then the chorus is like, I'm going to be okay. Because it's just like, me.
So it's a good theme.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
So good. Selling him now.
What do you call it? What's the benefit of actually being there versus like listening to it bumping in your car?
It changes the whole experience. Meaning like with the lights, the graphics, and being surrounded by people. Sometimes you'll go see like an artist play and now you'll have a new appreciation for their music when you listen to it because it just tunnels you right back to that moment where you were listening
Yeah.
live. So when you listen to it in the car, you feel like it's live.
Ah.
You just feel like you're there. It's euphoric.
So what are they actually doing behind like
The buttons?
Yeah.
Well,
do you know?
I mean, I know like some of the basics, but
Okay.
like it's all about like like changing the frequencies and cutting the highs and lows to mix and mesh similar tempoed songs, I guess.
Yeah.
So like those transition moments is where you're gonna hear it, or when you hear two songs like connected. Some people just kind of do the play motion, but that's
I feel all the hot DJs, like the girl ones, I feel like they just play.
it play.
And I was like, no, I mean,
Is that
never
your hot
mind.
take? Yeah, damn.
It could be.
Got that.
Scratch that out.
Got that.
I'm joking, but kind of not really.
Yeah. Leave it in.
But back to the Jackass videos.
Yes, yeah, exactly. I was gonna throw it back eventually, but no. So that was the beginning of the whole journey. Is we started doing those Jackass movies, started learning how to edit.
Family cam, old iMac.
Oh yeah, old like it was.
Do
a
you remember your
digital
first
camera.
video?
Yeah, Jackass.
Oh, that was the very first one.
Jackass. We called it Jackass 3 because at
Okay.
the time
There was
only
only
1
two.
and 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we made 3 before them.
Wow.
Yeah, pretty crazy. And then we made 4 directly after that.
Wow.
5 never saw the
Okay.
light of day. It never was finished.
What was the biggest prank or craziest thing that you guys did for Jackass 3?
Well, back then we were kids. We weren't. There's nothing too extreme. We loved going down the stairs on like snowboards and stuff like that.
I mean, I feel like that's pretty extreme,
Yeah,
bro.
that's extreme, right?
I would get
bonked
hurt
our
right
heads
now.
on stuff.
Yeah.
We get yelled at. It's funny if you watch the old videos because you'll hear my mom yell
Are
in
they
the
on
background. No, that one. It's a 45-minute movie, dude. It's long, but
That could be up there.
yeah, well now it can. Back then you couldn't. This was like DVD
Oh,
release only.
okay.
Yeah.
I feel it. Not
Top
DVD
sellers.
release.
Yeah, top sellers, man. You missed it. No, but
Some
Yeah.
blockbuster shit.
yeah. Way before my time. I peaked back then, and now we're just downhill. Yeah, Jackass was the beginning. Jumped off swing sets into trash cans and
Into trash cans?
yeah.
Did you ever break anything?
No.
Wow.
We're tough.
That's impressive.
We're tough, man.
That's that whole theory of like let your kids skateboard
Yeah,
and like hurt themselves.
exactly.
I feel like it teaches character.
Yeah, it does. Well, then you got to suck it up and
Yeah.
move forward after getting hurt.
It's just seeing I have a lot of friends who have kids now. Do you have friends who have kids?
Oh yeah, Instagram. Well, especially being from Ohio,
Yeah.
you get on Instagram now, and someone's either having their second kid or
I know it's wild, right? They look older than us because they don't work out, and then they got kids, and then they grow a beard,
yeah.
and then
They look older because they don't work out.
right?
Is that like a science thing?
I think so.
Cool. I'm never stopping then. I won't.
There's this one podcast I listened to a couple weeks back, and he's 105 years old, and he runs 5 miles a day, and he's articulate and could talk. And
105.
He's 105, and I was like, I'm gonna keep working out every day for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
Because this dude is getting after it.
Well, that's my thing. I feel like fitness, the second I stop is when it's all going to fall apart. Meaning like my knees are going to give out,
legitimately.
my back, just things are going to rupture.
When clients come to me and they're like, I can't use my knees, they don't work. I'm like, you're walking. Let's-
Dude, that's some of the funniest things about fitness. It's the shit you hear.
Yeah.
They'll just come in and like say like, yeah, so my back is absolutely fractured.
Yeah.
And you're just like, what?
I was like, clearly it's not that bad. You're moving around. You're
Yeah.
taking a workout class, you
Yeah.
know, or something like that. Yet some people say ridiculous shit.
Oh, it's crazy. And you're just like, how are you walking right now?
Yeah. I'll be like, okay, we're doing overhead presses today. They're like, oh, my shoulders don't do that. Yeah.
Oh, I had a guy in a class one time, same thing.
Uh-huh.
Like he was when he would do a shoulder press, his back would go like this, like to push it up, meaning like spine would literally
Big
curve.
arch.
Oh yeah, like
Yeah.
this to push it up, and I was like, hold on. Like I tried to downgrade the weight and all that, as you would at first, and he kept saying like, oh, I just have a bad shoulder, I have to do this. And I was like, no, you don't.
No, you don't.
Dude, you are doing that.
Lessen
you
the
are
weight, bro.
you are the one pushing your spine and belly forward. Like,
Yeah.
but yeah.
There's also a lot of people who ego lift in like classes to like show like, yeah, I'm the man. Or
Yeah,
I'm
man.
the woman.
Yeah, the woman. But you look dumb. Don't ego lift.
Yeah. Don't hurt
do it.
yourself.
Don't do it.
Yeah.
Lift right.
Live right.
Lift right.
What's your lift and live right?
Lift and live right.
Oh yeah, that should be on the
Put that on him.
shirt.
Put that on a shirt.
What's the creative process for like videos nowadays, bro? Like,
Which on number 2?
We're on 2. Which one was it? It was the quarantine cabin fever.
Oh yeah. Wait, do I finish my journey story first?
Yeah, finish that.
I didn't finish it.
Yeah, finish
and then
the
we'll
journey.
go to your question.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, you're on point.
This is my show.
It is your show, to be honest.
Yeah.
He's the guest.
No, but Jackass was the start. Then it was YouTube, meaning I found, because 2005 is when that came out. And I was like, cool, you don't have to hit each other in the nuts to tell stories.
You knew when YouTube came out.
I was on there.
You were on YouTube
All
early?
the old original, like, Smosh, Ray William Johnson.
Is it the same? Do you have the same channel as you did back then?
No. Oh. But they're all still out there. You can all look them up. I used to have a channel called NBB Zach. It was Naked Brothers Band Zach.
Wow.
It would just be me singing Naked Brothers Band songs, if you remember that Nickelodeon show.
Yeah.
Yep. Those are all out there.
So you were on early.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And we used to, like, back then we would copy people's ideas, like, straight off.
I feel like a lot of people do that.
It was, oh yeah, that's everyone's favorite. You know how many times I scroll through like anything and I'm just like, that's weird. I just saw that video
like 20 times
from someone else.
Yeah,
it's pissing me off.
Why?
But it's especially on like these short form things. What's annoying about it now is someone say something super funny and come up with it, and then someone sees it gets views, and so they just replicate it and use it as their own. And so that's what frustrates me is like,
yeah, I don't like it that way. I feel like if it's a style or if it's like a trend. Or,
trend would be one thing. Yeah. That's fine. I don't care about trends. I'm talking about like
straight up copying.
Oh, literally like. Maybe
same joke.
Yeah, exact same joke. Like it was funny because it actually happened, and then someone else will go and just do the same exact thing, but with say it's like a boyfriend girlfriend situation. They'll just go do it with their girlfriend and like pose as their own, and you're just like,
nah,
stop it.
But
I did used to do that.
Okay, but you were 9.
I was 9 years old, and they were awful. They were so bad. I used to wonder why we didn't blow up. Yeah. If I look at them now, I'm like, I wouldn't watch this. It's a 9 and 7-year-old literally just.
But those videos back then, those times made you the creator you are now.
Yeah, exactly. It progressed. Obviously, we started making our own. And then from there, I'll never forget it. It was high school. My sophomore year English teacher, Adrian Dennis. I love him to death. And one day I want to hopefully win an Oscar or any kind of award. And he's one of the first people that I'll always thank because he, when he saw my passion for film, I would go into class and he would have all these articles printed out from like film festivals or like new tips and stuff that you could learn about filmmaking because he wanted to push me further in that route. And we did a zombie project my sophomore year. It was how to survive a zombie apocalypse.
Did you edit the head off or what?
Yeah, that was one of them. Yeah, blowing people up, shooting them. But it was supposed to be an 8-minute project. My friends and I wrote a 45-minute script. And
so you were into like writing and acting back then as well.
Yeah, it just kept progressing. Like, that's all I did growing up. I loved sports, but at the end of the day, I'd rather go home and put on a wig or some goofy costume and make a movie.
What does that do for you? Why do you think you like doing that?
I don't know. Now I feel like if I answer that question now, I feel like it's fun becoming different people. That makes sense. Meaning like it's an escape, just like it is watching it. Becoming these different people or doing these different things, you're in a different world and you're kind of just leaving yours for a second to make believe land. And I love living in fantasy land. Half the time I'll laugh at something that someone says after, like way after they've said something funny because I've progressed their story further in my head. So like you could like ask me a question right now and I may go
there.
But you didn't say anything funny. I just thought of something funny that what if?
Yeah.
But yeah, that's my favorite thing is just endless opportunities, fantasy world. I've always wanted to take your dreams, like the ones you have at night. I wish you could watch them, and this is a way you can.
Not the ones that you have at night. That's wild.
Yeah, mine are scary. You don't want to watch those. Mine are fucking terrifying.
Yeah, the one that you just posted yesterday, the lamp.
Oh yeah.
I was like, how did this dude come up with this?
Yeah, what's funny is a lot of the ideas typically, like, if you've seen any of the ones that Jake and I do and stuff, sometimes it's literally just us being idiots together. Mm-hmm. Like, you'll just be in a conversation, you'll go on a bit with some of your friends, and then you'll be like, wait a second, that was actually funny. But it's us just being stupid and talking.
Yo, there's a beauty in finding friends to create with.
Oh, yeah.
And who are, like, down to do those things. Because there's a lot of people who just kind of not do that.
No, yeah.
Like...
You mean, like, not a lot of people, what?
Like, finding the people to create with.
Yeah.
And, like, show up to, hey, this is our game plan today.
No.
We're going to come up with skits and film it. And there's going to be no other purpose besides that.
Yeah.
And we're going to have fun doing that. And we're going to get lost in the flow states of it. Like, those people are hard to find.
Yeah, it's tough. I remember high school also. You know when people start drinking? I didn't have a drink till I was 21. Now look.
Are you serious?
I got 3 on the table right now.
Wow.
We've come a long way.
I had mine at 16.
Damn.
15? 16. Why didn't you drink in high school?
All the cops. I just didn't want to. I didn't want to, but also I had a lot of pressure with sports. I was always getting lectures about, like, you're going to throw it all away if you have a sip of alcohol or any of that stuff.
I was a golfer. I didn't go that.
Much. I mean, that's part of the sport. How many can you slam and still play golf?
It's changing now. There's a lot of jacked golfers, bro.
I'm just trying to picture just big, stocky dudes throwing their arms back.
Serious, bro.
But yeah, the lectures I would get from my dad, and then also my grandma, they always talked about how she never really had a drink in her life. And I always thought that was kind of cool. So I didn't do that for a while until it became a problem, meaning, like, I started exiling myself from my friends because I thought they didn't want to hang out with me because I was a lame little nerd that didn't drink. So I would make up excuses. They would invite me to hang out with them, and I'd be like, nah, I'm tired. I can't. I'm busy. And I thought it was because they hated me, so that's why I would stay away. You were talking about it's tough to find those creative people to kind of, like, motivate you and work with. In high school, when everyone started drinking, one of our favorite things to do as friends is we would get together every Friday or Saturday, and we would shoot something. Even if we shot it at, like...
Even these football players and baseball players.
Yeah, we would all... It was... I had a good group that I'm still very close with, and still just... That's one of my passions in life is one day I want to be able to bring them out whenever and do what we did as kids, but, like, be able to do it professionally. That would be the end game. Get to a point where you're able to create whatever you want with the people you love and put it out there and not be stressed about money.
Yeah.
That's the tough part.
That's the hardest part, especially here, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were just talking about it earlier, the 19 jobs to survive Los Angeles.
Exist.
Like, I remember...
one sec. They started drinking. We stopped filming is all I was going to say. Yeah. And I got really sad because I would bring my camera and it would never leave the bag. I didn't drink, though.
Yeah, you didn't drink,
I just got sad because they wanted to drink.
Why did you get sad?
Because no one wanted to film once they got drunk. They were all like, ugh.
Did they try to peer pressure you?
No. They never did that. It was never like that. It was just, there's nothing wrong with what they were doing. I was just a fucking film guy. That was like, we're not going to film?
Oh, you wanted to film?
I wanted to, yeah. And then I would get sad. And
do you usually bring your camera around a lot now?
Not like I did in the past. I would bring it everywhere I went. But yeah, I would love to film every day if I could. But it's tough. Like, which is what you were saying, 17 jobs.
Yeah. 17, 19, whatever.
19.
Whatever.
Maybe going on 20, I don't know. It's you got to do it just to exist.
Yeah, dude. I remember 3 years ago. Yeah. Like, I was bartending until 2 a.m. And then,
oh, yeah, that's right. Do you bartend anymore?
Oh, I quit 2 years ago.
Do you still do a
year ago.
The spritz?
No.
You don't do that anymore?
Not the bitters.
Not the bitters?
Yeah, we were going to do a commercial.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it was going to be sick.
Yeah.
No, what I realized is, especially I feel like there's a phase where, especially Los Angeles or any busy city where your goal is to make it. Like, you have, like, all these jobs. You're like, I'm going to take everything. I'm going to say yes to everything because you need to say yes to everything.
Yep.
And then it comes to a point where, like, you don't have any more time and you're making enough money to, like, get by, and you could start cutting things off.
Yeah, for sure.
So for me, the first things was, like, group classes. Like, I would bartend until 2 a.m., right? I would teach at F45 at 6, and then I'd have clients, like, after that.
Yeah.
And for 2 years, I did that. of like 3 to 4 hours a night, and then start cutting off one job at a time. And I feel like to focus fully on like acting, or for me, the podcast, you have to slowly start cutting every single, like that's a goal of mine. Like if you have like 19 jobs, which you can make jobs off modeling, off acting, off whatever you're doing, I feel like it has to come down to a solid like 1, 2, or 3 to be able to focus full-heartedly on it. And I think that's just the journey that I've seen with most creatives out here who've like didn't get the golden spoon of try to make it, or like
like the ticket, basically. Is that the golden spoon?
I don't know. Funding from family.
Oh, exactly. Yeah. The Willy Wonkas of
the Willy Wonka.
The parents are Willy Wonka,
which is also dope. Like I always say, like play the cards you've been dealt.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
Like if you have pocket aces, bro,
dude, I would love if I had those. It had like the freedom to. It does get a little frustrating if someone tries to give you advice who does have those aces and they say like, "Hey, just like I've been to places, dude." I'm 28. Okay, I'm a grown adult. I should have my shit figured out. But these dudes, I thought their stuff was great, and I was telling them like
what type of stuff? Like they're
like comedy sketches, which is what I've always wanted to do since 9. I was telling them like, oh, I also do that, not like fishing for an opportunity or what, but just letting them know like, hey, I'm proud of what you guys are doing. He said, oh, don't give up. Took us a year before we took off, and I was like, thanks, man. Thank you so much. I'm 28. These dudes are probably 23-ish. Okay. So a little young. Yeah. But like I didn't have the freedom to, like if I could dive into that stuff fully and not worry about money or not worry about how you're going to pay rent. Yeah. I feel like, you can put the time in to help it do this.
Grow quicker. Yeah. Quicker. I like it.
You're done.
We're going to keep it.
Hey, you're done.
Well, I'm starting to realize too, especially right now with, I guess like my goals that are similar to what you just said is you have to say no more. Yeah. Like say no to going out or to dating or to do all these other things. And it's difficult because your brain as like a human wants to communicate with people and not be alone and like be in these communities, but you also have these goals. Yeah. And you're like, oh, if I go out, I'm saying no to my goals. If I'm going to my goals, I'm saying no to friends. I'm saying no to, so it's tricky.
It's tough to, I think you reminded me of, I think my dad said it. He always, you know how dads are. They say the wisest things, and at first you're like, "Shut up, you don't know."
And then they're like, "Oh, then they're so
right. They're always right." No, he said something. I forget what the 3 he listed, but there's 3 aspects of your life, maybe 4, I don't know. But he listed basically saying like work, relationships, fun, I don't know. Just think of all those aspects in your life. He said one of those has to be sacrificed in order to move forward in other areas and stuff like that. And I remember when he said that, I was like, nah, it's not. But it really does. Whether you're in a relationship, sometimes that takes the front, that takes the lead of everything sometimes. Being there for your partner, and you can do them all, but it does become tough to focus on whether it's your job that you work, whether that's fitness, like your goals or whatever that. Losing my train of thought, we're done. No, but
I don't think you could do them all initially.
Yeah.
I don't
think
so.
No, it's tough. And I like to try to.
Yeah. I love to try.
Yeah. Or like how you said, you got to say no to some things. Sometimes I'm the guy where I'm like, I'm going to say yes to everything. And I'm going to be the first to do it.
For example, like when you build the comedy sketch career, and it's to the point where like you have a team to help you do that, you could have them do that shit, and it's already set for you to do other things, and build the relationship and build whatever. Yeah. But when you're stuck in it, like for example, in 2 weeks, I got my bodybuilding prep. I'm doing a bodybuilding show in July.
Shoot.
And
that's exciting.
And I'm not going to be drinking. I'm going to track every single calorie that goes in my body.
Damn.
Every single calorie. Yeah. Every single piece of food that goes in my mouth for 16 weeks. And I'm going to say no to dating, going out, eating, drinking, all that stuff to pursue like this version, this goal of myself, and it's going to be super hard. But at the end of it, I'm going to accomplish that. and then I could do all that other shit again.
Then you can bring everything back.
It's just
in.
a season.
Yeah.
It's a season. I think to get good at any one of those aspects, you literally have to give up everything for that one thing.
Yeah. Which is important, I feel like, because I know one day I want to be a dad. Like that's obviously an in-game kind of thing. I feel like until you, like this moment in your life right now where you're training for that moment in July, I don't know if I can fully be happy becoming a dad if I haven't had my July moment, is what I'm saying. So like with the career, like if I feel like I haven't pushed that to a certain point, what am I pushing forward with a relationship if I'm never going to be happy, whatever.
And what type of dad would you be to teach your son too? Like the dads out there like, yo, you will never get that.
Yeah.
Versus the dad be like, oh, I'm going to have this July moment and then teach my kid he could have that moment as
July
well.
Moment. Yeah. No, it's tough to sacrifice because I'm a lover. I want to love and I want to take care of people, but it really does. Like any time in the past with relationships, if something's wrong, I want to be there fully for it. But the toll that takes on you too, like to be there for your partner, sometimes like that becomes your only thoughts.
Yeah.
And then something else may be pushed aside and you won't be able to move forward as fast with those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you have to sacrifice all those other things. Yeah. And it's hard.
It's hard, but honestly, there's kind of fun in leaving a section of your life and then returning to it, if that makes sense. Meaning like all those things that you have to set aside now for the bodybuilding thing, when you come back and you're like
lit as fuck,
yo, dude,
bro.
exactly. Yeah. So like picture that moment after July, you're done. You hit up everyone. You're just like, what are we doing? Everyone's like, you've been gone for fucking ever. And you're just like, but I'm back. That's fun. Yeah. That's fun to disappear from little things. Sure. And then.
Yeah, there's the being alone too, like doing those things. I mean, you probably get that feeling when you're editing, right?
What?
Being alone. Because it's just you and your work and you're stuck in this computer and you're just moving buttons. And then at the end of it, there's this like dope piece of content that you create. You're like, oh,
yeah, we did it.
It's been like 8 hours.
There's definitely a whole element to that. You're right with what you're saying, but now I'm just thinking off topic, just something that I deal with, I guess, personally. Sometimes I struggle for finding that motivation.
For editing?
Editing or any of your own projects. Sometimes I have that mental thought where sometimes things get hard, as in you want so much for yourself, but certain things maybe right now in time aren't benefiting you financially or helping you move in a certain direction. Sometimes you put those aside. Like your head kind of starts going off saying like, why do this if it's not benefiting you now, if that makes sense.
For sure.
Like, so like I could have edit projects that I could be doing and sometimes I struggle to get up and start them. Eventually I will after moping around for a little bit. I'm trying to figure out how to get past that, find that motivation. So
I like to change the perspective of instead of how does this benefit me to like everything, you are the end product. So your work that you do makes you a better editor and you're the end game.
Yeah.
So it's not like the finances, it's not the Oscar, it's the person you become to win the Oscar.
And the enjoyment that it brings, I feel like. Meaning like when I do eventually get up and start, when I put out those comedy sketches and stuff, nothing brings me more satisfaction than actually when you're done. It feels so good to see them. And I don't know why I can't get to that point right off the gate. It's like you said, that mental spot. I just got to figure out how to change that. Turn that side.
I feel like you just have to understand that you love that much that you're going to do it.
Yeah.
But also it's like difficult in the sense of, it's going to take time. Yeah. And you just taught like 6 classes today.
That's the thing is sometimes, bro, like being on for people, I love it. But after like 4 in a row,
it's whole.
You go home, I have breakfast and then potentially nap.
Yeah. I used to.
Because I'm back again in an hour.
Used to not give it the credit it deserves.
Well,
coaching. In terms of energy, I was like, all you're doing is being loud, like help motivating people. You're not doing a ton of like mental energy.
Yeah.
But I would argue now, after doing it for 10 years, that it's exhausting.
No, it's just so taxing. Like the feeling when everyone leaves and you have that little moment to yourself where you're maybe just poking buttons on an iPad in the class and someone comes back in, I forgot my jacket, and you're like, hey, I'm happy. Like that feeling.
Don't worry.
Of, yeah,
I'm good.
Me? No, I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not tired.
What's going back to the video creating? What is the creative process for these videos? Because, for example, the Quarantine Cabin Fever one.
Oh yes, that's yeah.
And
long question, I guess.
You have 1,000 of you running all over the place.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how did this dude edit this?
Yeah.
And there's so many shots.
Yeah.
And you're saying one sentence, and there's like 3 different things happening. So I was like, how long did it take you to do this, bro?
I'm planning on getting back into these. Okay. Like I'm trying to find a simplified version of it, meaning where there's multiple.
How long did it take you to do that video?
Shooting usually is about 2 days. Just because of like the sunlight, like it'll go down at one point and then you're like, fuck, nothing will match. Yeah. You'll do about 2 days because obviously all the wardrobe changes, all the different versions of yourself.
Pretty impressive.
Yeah. And then editing is what took, God, dude, maybe a week. Like,
Shit.
Like if I sat down and did it nonstop, probably a week. But that process is so fun. I want to find a simplified version to get back into it because it's so fun. Meaning like to be all these, it's based off of basically my head.
Yeah.
There's so many different versions of me inside me.
You were 1,000 different people.
Yeah, absolutely.
I was like, wait, what?
Yeah, that's...
At first I thought they were different people, and then I was like...
Wait a second.
That's Zach.
Yeah. No,
and Zach again.
And that's what's so fun about it is like I said, there's so many... If you look at that video, there's obviously like fitness Zach, the dude that's all about his protein intake and all that stuff. You've got just normal Zach, which is a collection of them all. You've got more of the... filmmaker Zach that's all into movies, the buffs, which that's a quality of me, all these different versions of yourself, and it's just so fun to write a story where they all communicate to each other because that's my head. Sometimes I'll look at myself in the mirror and just have a conversation with myself. So it's that way of putting it out there, but the creative process, so fun. You write it, so once the script is done, then you break it down based off of shot. Because there's so many different elements of yourself interacting with each other. So you have to make sure wherever that camera is positioned, say it's right here, I have to know a map of where all these Zachs are in the room because I need to figure out how many different outfit changes do I have to do, how many different placements of myself, and make sure it's in that same exact shot because otherwise if I move that camera, nothing will match. Meaning like if the angle rotates.
It has to be perfect.
It has to be, yeah. You have to make sure you get everything because going back, you'll have to reshoot every single bit.
Well, even the bits that you do with Jake.
Yeah.
The different camera angles and stuff and the back and forths. Like, walk me through that.
Yeah. Which one? Multiple Zachs or that one too?
Oh, well, just the process of it. Because, for example, the one with like you and Jake.
Which one?
I don't know any of them.
Okay.
Like you're filming from one direction.
Yeah.
Like we're having a conversation right now.
Yeah.
And it's like you're not using 2 cameras, right?
No, yeah. It's
so you don't have the 2 camera setup. You don't have the camera set up to where you could clip it after, right?
Yep.
So it's so flawless.
Yeah.
The camera change, but the voices, the conversation is continuous.
Yeah, yeah.
And just understanding that makes me like, how did you do that?
Yeah, I mean, with Jake and I's stuff, it's more of like, obviously there's a basis of a script that you follow. Like there's a structure because if you don't have that, there's a chance, like we've improv some before. Hard thing about improving an entire sketch is he may say some random stuff. I may say some random stuff back. If you don't remember everything that you said in that first take, because we only have one camera, it won't, like, I'll maybe go back to edit and he could say something funny, but I don't have the back and forth conversation that we had within his take. Yeah. So that's why it's important to have a structure so you can get all the way through that, add your little funny ad libs. And then I guess the next, I don't know where I want to go with that. The next thought process is what sells best, if that makes sense. When you, I think one of the coolest things, I went to USC for film production. Yeah. Learned a lot of helpful things. I've studied film all my life. My dad was always there for it. Once I was into it, I'm so thankful. He always watched movies. He'd come downstairs and be like, you got to check out this scene. Watch how they shot this. And like, it was very beneficial to understand what sells best. So like in comedy, I took a directing and comedy class. There's specific coverage of us talking right now that would be funnier if it was shot a certain way. So like maybe you say a certain joke, it could be funnier in the 2-shot where you see both of us versus if I just left it on you. Sure. So you got to think about that process too. Whatever's going on in the scene, have you covered everything that you may need so that you can use it in the edit. So going back to the multiple Zachs, that's more complex because there's 19 of myself in one scene.
Yeah.
And you all have to interact with the same timing. You all have to...
Because you overlap the videos, right?
Yeah.
And it has to be so perfect or else they're going to be covering each other.
Yeah. Well, the process... Well, so that's what's even more complex about multiple Zachs. I do it in a way where it's not split screen. So, like, we overlap. Like, I have moments where I touch. Yeah. I have moments where, like, I interact with myself.
Yeah.
Or maybe cross the frame with myself. Just because it's more of a challenge for me to edit.
Yeah.
And it's a bunch of process of rotoscoping, if you know what that is.
I do not.
That's the process. Adobe After Effects has a great program for it, but you basically outline yourself, paint what you want to remove from the frame. Then you hit play, watch it go frame by frame. Sometimes because of the frame rate, if your elbow moves too quick, a little patch of the wall will come, and then you have to go in frame by frame, remove that wall. And that's why it takes forever.
Yeah.
Is because if I'm walking like this and it loses my hand, I have to color in my fingers. And then from there, you can overlay those shots where you can cross, like I cross myself.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's so fun, though. Like you said earlier, you were asking just being alone when you edit.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite things. You just lock in, shut your door, and disappear.
Yeah.
And just sit there, and the troubleshooting happens where you're like, oh, how do I fix this shot? How do I make this work, or how do I add this element in to sell this moment better?
Yeah.
That's what I love about it. Sorry, I just threw it like...
That's so romantic, the way you described editing.
I'm in love.
But the thing that bugs me with it is it's way harder than I thought it was.
Oh, yeah.
It's way more difficult and it takes way more time than I thought it would.
Yeah, also... I don't think people understand this too. I'm happy you're learning that because I've done so many jobs for people where they don't understand the time that goes into this. Yeah. Sometimes they'll just be like, I have this, I used to do, for example, Christmas videos for the dentist office back home.
Okay.
She loved doing these over the top.
You would do for dentist videos for your hometown.
Yeah, hometown.
That's what's up.
My dad does their computers and stuff. They're lovely people over there. And the woman who's in charge of the whole place, she loves doing these elaborate Christmas videos to premiere at their Christmas party. They're always one-upping each other. So one year she shot all the dentists.
My hometown dentist getting after it, bro.
She had my dad shoot all the dentists on a green screen, just their head. And she wanted me to superimpose their heads on different music videos.
What does that mean?
So let's say Nicki Minaj Super Bass. There's like 5 background dancers in that.
Okay.
She wanted each of their heads on each of those people, tracking frame by frame of them like lip syncing the songs.
Great idea.
It's stuff like that where it's like, she was like, what's taking so long? And it's like, I have to sit there and I have to track those heads. I have to go frame by frame. If they leave the frame, I have to be aware where it went, when it comes back in, when to bring their heads back in.
Yeah.
And sometimes tracking isn't smart enough. Like if the frame moves too quick, it'll fall off. And then you got to go frame by frame, make sure it matches up.
Yeah.
Then you got to color correct their heads. Then you got to key out the green screen. And then you got to render all that stuff, export it. Mm-hmm. But learning that appreciation, that's what I was getting at. So much goes into it.
Yeah.
Timing, meaning like if you ever do a skit or if you ever do pacing to just a normal short film, there's specific, there's a feeling that you have to get with certain things. Sometimes I like when I do my projects, you just sit there, watch it, have your finger on the space bar, and sometimes you can feel where that cut feels more natural. Even a simple frame off, like I'll never forget at USC, my editing professor, sometimes he would be like, move it a frame this way or move it a frame that way, and the difference that would make in your cut.
Like a millisecond.
Yeah. And that's where I'm a perfectionist when it comes to that stuff. Yeah. Not my room. My room is disgusting.
Okay.
I'm a dirty guy. Not dirty.
In the best way.
In the best way. It's more of I'm spatially organized. So
you know where things are.
Yeah. My shoes may be right there.
Yeah.
But they may not belong there. There may be clothes right there, but I know that's where my clean clothes.
But this frame is gonna be perfect.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'll sit there and go back and forward. It's the same thing when I show people edits, like I said in the beginning. I will nitpick everything. I'll be like, this is missing, that's missing, this is missing, and I know I can make this better. But there's so much that goes into it, and I love it.
Do you make that clear when you like charge rates and stuff?
That's one thing I've been learning more now, I feel like.
Because I feel like the business side of everything, especially in Los Angeles, for me, it's like one-on-one personal training. Yeah. Like, for example, agree or disagree, like you're one of the best editors that you know.
Yeah.
Agree.
Yeah.
Right? I would say I'm one of the best trainers I know. How many editors out there charge a way higher rate than you?
Yeah.
And you believe that you're better than them.
I mean, everyone probably.
Exactly.
Well, and what's frustrating about, I'm learning about that now. People love taking advantage of you, especially out here.
Out here.
They think it's...
And so, like, I'm over here and I hear a friend of mine charging her client $300 an hour for a 1 hour training session, right? And...
What?
Just talking numbers, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, that's crazy. But she truly believes she's worth $300 because that's her rate.
Yeah.
And so like I've slowly building mine up to try to believe it. Yeah. Because it's not the work. The work is we're just as good or even better.
Yeah.
It's just the belief in ourselves from what I'm starting to understand.
Well, it's the belief in yourself and also wrapping your head around like it's tough to sell yourself in the beginning. You know what I mean? Like you're worth that. I know. I mean, from the videos that I see you on your Instagram, dude, $300, absolutely. The shit you're making people do, it's so crazy. You're worth it. The time, the focus that you put into those people, you're worth $300. But it's so tough. I've experienced it because I also do personal training or try to have those personal clients.
Yeah.
Sometimes people don't. They like I've had influencers like someone reach out to me where he's like, oh, you do fitness, like my buddies want to get in shape. They want to do classes with you. I'll give them my rate, which isn't that high right now. It ain't $300 a fucking session.
Mine's not $300 yet either.
And I remember pitching like this low end thing, and he was like, they think it's a little too high. They're not ready for it right now. And you're like, what?
Yeah.
Like it's not that. I had someone once ask, can they get half of it? Like meaning like, can we cut the price in half? And I'll just give it out. I charge $65 a session.
Yeah.
$65.
Yeah.
And they asked, can we do 30?
What?
And I was like, I tried to paint it out. It's like...
Well, industry standard at like a corporate gym, like an Equinox and stuff, starting's 100.
Yeah, exactly.
Like starting's 100.
So 65, not even that high, but these people in the beginning just... They said no.
65 is like great. I mean, like
that's like a
LA Fitness does 65.
Yeah,
like that's a standard.
Like it's
rate.
A standard.
That's a standard base rate.
Yeah,
for a good trainer.
Yeah. And that's what's tough is in the beginning. One, I believe in myself, and I know you believe in yourself. But like coming out the gate and pitching yourself at 300, the scary thing about it is what if you lose people? You know, what if someone's not willing to do that? Then they go find someone who can do it.
I feel like it's when you have the abundance amount of clients is when you could do it.
Yeah, exactly. When you're able to raise it and people can't do it.
And allow them to go.
Yeah.
Find something else.
Yeah.
I feel like the reason why I brought it up for you is the editing parts, especially like seeing the magic that you make with just one camera and all these little comedy clips. Is like, yo, like the amount of people who can't do this is insane.
It's the same thing. Meaning like people out here are cheap. I had a job one time. I slowly am learning the importance of having contracts with people. Meaning like setting up some kind of rate where it's like if you don't follow through with me, there's some kind of base rate that I'm still owed. Because like I had a job one time. It was for a gym. I had no idea that I was going to be filming that day. But I brought my camera just in case. Just in case. We were in talks of doing like promotional content for it. Brought my camera just for fun, just in case. Show up, he was like, you ready? And I was like, what? He was like, I got someone coming in. We're going to run through a class. We're going to shoot the whole thing. And then we're going to make a piece from it. And he told me that we were going to discuss my rate afterwards.
How awful.
Yeah, exactly. Dumb. That's what I'm saying. Have this contract ready. He said, we'll discuss it afterwards. But this is what we're going to do. I shot it all, went through, I think I did like 40, I think I logged 40 hours of edits for this, like with notes, with every little change they needed.
It's a lot of time.
Yeah, that's a lot of time, which brings me to my next point. I brought up the payment. I was like, all right, this is typically what I charge. And he said, ooh, it was under my impression that this was just a trial run. And I was like, what do you mean? He was just like, well, see if we want to work with you in the future. And I was like, I just did 40 hours of work. What do you mean this is a trial run? I wouldn't do that for free. And that's what I'm saying. People are cheap. And when I pitched him my rate, he said the most I can give is like, we usually give people 150 for this kind of content.
For 40 hours?
Yeah, well, that's why I was like, no. If I fucking went into this knowing it was 150. Well, I never gave him the final thing.
Okay.
But it was never used or anything like that, thank God. But still, the most I think I got out of him was 250, 300, something around that.
Yeah.
I think that lost me.
Yeah,
like 80%.
The business aspect of creative work is lost a lot for the people who love the art.
Yeah. Or what?
So like the business aspect of creatives who love the art, like they enjoy it. They enjoy making the music video. They enjoy whatever. But to get what they're worth, it's like you got to learn the business part.
Yeah,
you have to learn the business part, or else you're gonna be working 1,000 hours and not get not be still starving.
Yeah,
you know. And like I'm starting just to figure that out, but like it's really important. And if you find the right people out there, you said there's a lot of cheap people out here, but there's a lot of people who have the money to do it as well.
You just got to figure out how to sell yourself. But it's such a scary thing, like you mentioned, getting to that point where you're able to lose people, like clients or whatever. Yeah. I mean, that's a proud moment for sure because you've built yourself to such a thing, but it's so scary in the beginning. Meaning like when I first started doing acting, when I got out here, like taking it more professionally, like going to auditions and stuff. One of the first things I booked, 50 an hour, or not 50 an hour, sorry, 50 a day is what he pitched me, 50 a day.
What did this consist of though?
So I was a supporting character in it, which, whatever, it's still 12 hours days when you're there on set. But here's the catch. He said 50 a day.
50 a day, not 50 an hour?
No, 50 a day.
50 a day.
Okay. And that was the first agreement. Then he
50
said...
50 a day for a 12-hour day?
Yeah. Okay. But hey, remember, this is the beginning. This was like right when I finished school and I was like,
that's
I want to take acting.
below minimum wage,
yeah.
What do you...
Yeah. But like, hey, I don't do that now. I would never take 50 a day. But no, in the beginning, you're afraid. You're like, oh, cool, this is an opportunity. Yeah. I'm going to be a supporting in a... independent film. It was a horror film, and then it was crazy.
Independent films are films that are raised separately, right? They have their own fund, right?
Yeah, it's personal.
Personal.
Yeah, it's not through a company or anything crazy. But 50 a day, and then he was like, "Oh, I see you have production experience. On the days where you're not working, like as an actor, would you like to be a PA and help out on set?" And I was like, 50 a day? I can't do that. But the most I could get out of him was 75 a day. I still took it. But I was definitely a little petty little guy. Meaning as soon as it hit 12 hours, gone, done. You'd be like, we're not done. And I was like, I am. I'm out. But no, it was crazy. I ended up learning that the lead actress or something was making like $550 a day or something. And I was told that he couldn't spare any more than 75 a day.
Wow.
Not even... I think I asked for like 125. That was like my max at the time. Nothing. But it's just scary to say no to a job there in the beginning.
Because early on you want the experience.
And you want to work.
Yeah. Especially for acting.
Yeah.
Like sometimes I don't understand the appeal of acting because it's just a director directing a ton of puppets.
Yeah.
You know?
You mean acting or?
Acting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's fun. So this is cool. This is one thing I learned in film school. My directing professor was an actor. And he said something that was pretty... That's why I love the production and acting side. But he said something that just always stuck with me. He said, your actors are smart, and you need to understand that as a director. Meaning, listen, you have your idea for how this wants to go, but you need to trust them to come in and have their own ideas. If there's something you want to add to it, you can, but it's not your job to fully move them or tell them how to do this performance. Like, because they could bring something to the table that's completely something you didn't think of.
Better than you thought.
Yeah, exactly. And so like, that's when you get a bad director, I feel like, is when they start becoming the puppet master and they like will literally tell you how to say your line.
Sure.
I've I've worked with someone who, it was so funny. He would tell me the exact ups and downs of my words. Like, let's say it was, I love you.
Like the volume?
Yeah, or like, go high with it or go low with it. And so, like, he was like, for example, if it was saying I love you, he said, all right, say I love you. And then I'd be like, what? He was like, yeah, just say it like that. And I was like, I love you. And he'd be like, no. Try going down at the end. I love you. And you were like, what? And we literally, it's so funny. I still have the footage, but yeah, he would walk you through, like, go up with it, go down with it, like, say it this way, soften. And it's just weird because then you feel stupid. It's something that, like, as a kid, when people would yell at you or maybe you screwed up and someone was always, I guess I'm talking about parenting. Well, I don't know why I was.
So
I was
the puppet masters?
Yeah, just like sometimes
directors.
Yeah, from
like, yes, mom, I will say I love you.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, actually, I'm not an actor. That was just my childhood. No, but as a kid, like, sometimes those moments when you got yelled at, it shuts you down, makes you feel stupid, and you kind of turn off. And that's what that does. Is if someone's constantly telling you do it this way, you feel dumb, you feel worthless, and you feel like, you know what? This is what you want, so I'm just going to turn into that puppet. And that's when you don't get good things.
And also, I feel like you hide the light or the talent that you actually have. You know? What, from your experience, what makes a good set, a good, like, the whole movie acting process?
Yeah. I think, I mean, it's kind of, it's like fitness.
It's like fitness.
It's what makes a good class. Like, the collaborative effort of everyone just everyone doing what their job is, but also having fun with it, understanding that we're here to do a job. You're serious about that job. Have fun while getting the job done, I guess. Meaning, like, it should be, nothing sucks more than feeling tension on set or feeling that when you're behind time and people are panicked, people are yelling, people are being rushed. Nothing makes something fall apart more than when you start feeling that edge rise up, or if something goes south, like a location falling through. Like, when people start panicking, you're not going to get the best result because everyone's just on edge.
Yeah. For these independent films, are you, like, setting up in one area, filming, and then everyone's off to the next location in a day?
Well, here recently I've been doing, they're so fun. I love them. It's such a cool opportunity. I wish they were here when I graduated, because I feel like from the moment I graduated till now, money has been hard. Meaning, like, if you booked a short film, maybe you got paid $125 for the day.
Okay.
Very low. And now they're called vertical dramas.
Oh, yeah.
They're for the phone. Literally, there's a bunch of streaming platforms where you just scroll through the episodes.
Okay.
And
you said they're big in China?
They're big in China, but they're huge now here. At first, when they came out, people were like...
Is it on an app?
Yeah, there's a bunch of them. Okay. There's, like, Real Short, Drama Box, Kalos TV, Short Max, all these different things.
Okay.
And they're crazy.
Yeah.
And they're so cool because they're a group of people, like production, like even the production crew, all people that have gone to school for this, want to be doing this, and this is a medium for them to do it. Same with the actors. We're all people that have been looking for opportunities to act, and now we're finally getting that chance to create projects.
Yeah.
And they're not shot on an iPhone. They're shot on, like, real cameras, real crews, stunt coordinators, intimacy coordinators, and you're doing what you love and making money doing it, which is so fun.
And so you've been doing them?
Yeah, I've been doing those. Where was I? You asked me something before I brought that up.
No, just finish that thought.
No, I've been doing them.
Oh, okay.
Hold on. What were we?
The moving.
Oh, quickly. The moving. Yes, those things. They're so crazy. They're fast paced.
Yeah. The filming's fast.
The filming's. It's well. For example, I've done, like, PA work for bigger productions, or even when I did background for, I did it for, like, Young Sheldon. I was like a little baseball coach.
Oh, no way. I'm going to interview one of the writers for it.
Oh, shoot, really?
Yeah.
I don't know if he knows me. Probably not. I was a big...
You did PA for it?
No, I did. I was background.
Background?
I was a baseball coach.
Do you know who Annie Potts is?
No.
She's on Young Sheldon.
Oh, shoot. No, I was really just the baseball coach that's out of focus in the background. No, but when you're doing those, maybe tops, a production will knock out 4 to 5 scenes a day. Tops.
Okay.
That's even pushing it. I feel like sometimes even 3. But on these verticals, you'll get your call sheet, 18 pages of this script, and like 12 to 15 scenes, and you're like, what?
All in a day.
All in a day, and it really is fast. Meaning you're lucky. What's cool about it is that you're getting acting reps. Okay. You're getting the ability to test new things, test new methods, figure out what works best for you. But if you can successfully say your line, they're most likely going to move on and like move on to the next scene. Yeah,
and you guys hop in cars and stuff.
Yeah,
and
typically they're all one location, but it's more about resetting flipping the world.
Okay.
So like if I'm shooting you, it just means that they'll change all these lights.
Okay.
To the other side, and they'll get.
Where are you filming these at?
There's all kinds of. What's crazy? There's a bunch of homes around the area that people have literally purchased. It's a bunch of rich people that have purchased homes, and they rent them out to these productions. Like you'll see in these productions, sometimes you'll notice that this is the same house that another one's used.
That's what that's what they do for porn too, bro.
Oh yeah.
But I have a friend who owns a house.
Okay.
And he rented it out for porn sets.
That'd be tough. Does he live in it?
He lives in it, but you're allowed to watch it.
You mean him? Like if you are, like you could sit in and watch the porn?
Yeah.
That was the agreement?
That was the agreement.
Did he get paid?
And he got paid.
Okay, good. I was going to say, he was like, listen, you can use the house, but I have to watch.
Yeah.
But he got paid.
He got paid. Okay. Like a decent chunk.
Could you do that? If you had a home, or even say where you live
definitely
now?
If I had a family, definitely not.
For sure.
100%.
But what if your family was gone, like out of town? Like
no. If I had a family and they lived in there,
dance competition
definitely can't do
down
that.
The street.
No.
Wife wasn't going to be home.
100%.
No?
Not.
No. She gave you the okay.
No. I think that would be a test.
She calls you back.
I feel like she would serve me the papers, bro, once it gets back.
I couldn't do it. Yeah. Meaning, one, I'm weird about people even staying in my place now, even if they're not shooting porn. Meaning, like you know, how people rent out their apartment or something, like when they're out of town to make some money.
Yeah.
Ain't no way would I be happy to come home and know that someone had slept in my bed. Yeah. Even though obviously you clean, you wash the sheets. It's not like you just hop in the bed that they used.
Maybe.
But that's what I'm saying is like, I don't think, I'm just weird about that. Like to know someone was in your kitchen that wasn't a friend. I know it's a stupid
Even if
thing.
they are a friend though.
Yeah, get out of my kitchen.
I know where my things go, bro.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
But there's also friends who respect all your stuff.
Yeah.
How did we get here?
Before
the houses, the acting.
The verticals.
The one thing I wanted to ask, bro, is since you have a filming background and an editing background and you're in the acting world and you've participated with all this big production with camera people and directors and other editors and what are they called?
Intimacy coordinators.
Yeah, I don't know what that is. I mean, I don't understand why. I understand what they are, but I don't know the purpose of it. Okay. Like, you could explain it to me in a bit. Okay. But you've done some stuff very cool with minimal, like no directors, just yourself and your friend and one camera.
Yeah.
And arguably just as good of a scene.
Yeah.
Well, like, do you think it's all necessary?
Yes, I would. I would say I think it's necessary to have those crews. I mean, it's obviously, it makes such a better craft. Meaning, like, even though like I shoot my own stuff and I feel proud of it, if someone was operating that camera versus us just passing it back and forward, or like me, since I have a film background, sometimes with Jake, I'll
put the camera here, bro.
I'll frame it up for him. I'll record him.
Just hold it there.
I'll record it for him. Like if you were Jake, I'd record him. I'd pass him the camera and I'd be like, match this, but shoot me. So with burps. No, but with
burps by Nectar.
Burps by Nectar. With a camera operator, you have the trust in someone framing a good shot. Then you also don't have to worry about sound. Someone can make sure that they're adjusting audio levels so it doesn't spike. You got people that
are mics just above?
Or you'll use lavs, meaning like they'll be attached to your chest.
Okay, but you can't see them.
No, you can't.
Okay.
Well, that's the goal. You got to put it somewhere where you can't see it, and also if I do this, you're
like
not
it's under it's underneath the shirt.
Yeah.
Okay.
That or
so they're really good quality mics.
Yeah, for sure. And if you have a collared shirt or something, they'll put it on the inside of your jacket or in your tie, which I've learned recently.
That's
because you're always a CEO billionaire wearing fucking suits.
Let's go.
And they put it in your tie.
I saw you do a little bit of stunts.
Yeah.
Stuff.
Did you see the fight?
Yeah, that was sick.
That's what I'm saying. These things have stunt coordinators. Yeah. Where it was he's such a. I love him. He definitely stresses people out because he's very hands on.
Yeah.
But he's wonderful. He's so. Do I say names? Is that
you could say names?
Okay, cool. Eddie. Well, I don't know if he's gonna watch it, but he's great. Eddie. He's so hands on, and like when he walks you through these fights, he'll just be like you go like this, and then you go yeah, and like. For someone with
impressed, bro.
Yeah, for someone with a sports background and like body control, it's easy for me to understand how to replicate what he did. But sometimes he'll grab people's hands, and like if they slap wrong, he'll grab them and just go no. And these people like sometimes it's a girl get yanked, and I'm like, oh my god. Some people don't like that, but me, I learned from like hands-on stuff and like so I'm just like I got it sweet now I feel it.
I just interviewed a stunt coordinator last week and I did some stunt work for free on this music video.
Awesome.
And I just wanted it was a favor, but I was like I kind of want to just see what it's like.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, that's the fun thing about life.
Yeah.
Trying everything.
Trying it. I was like, I want this side quest. We were talking about side quests.
Side quest.
And I played this like goon. And so they tatted like my arms up and they put like crazy like black eyeliner on me. And
such a goon.
Yeah. He's such a goon. And you're trying to kill these wizards in this music video.
Sounds crazy.
So there's like 10 goons and big camera, like circling all of us, and then I'm supposed to run towards this wizard, and the wizard has a cape and does this big like whoosh, magic trip, whatever. Yeah. And I'm supposed to like fall back and twirl and roll and navigate my body that way. And I was like, yo, people really get hurt doing stunts and shit.
Did you tumble and roll? Mm-hmm. Did they walk you through how to do that? Or did they? Okay, cool. Yeah. Well, that's what's crazy is, I mean, you see people get hit by cars in movies and stuff. Those stunt guys have been trained on how to accept an impact like that without getting hurt.
Yeah.
Same with like you doing
you're
that
still
tumble.
Beat up
that's
the next day.
Oh, yeah, you're still falling.
Yeah.
But I love that. It comes back to the Jackass stuff we used to do.
Yeah.
I love doing... Like one of the most recent ones I did, there's a moment where I get thrown out of a room and you're into a wall. And they tell you be careful. That's their goal is make sure you don't get hurt. But like, oh, dude, I just want to throw myself into the wall, you know?
A little bit. Why?
Well, just because I'm doing my stunt. Like I know how to cradle my body weight and actually hit it. Because typically what they'll do is like, let's say they have a shot behind my back. It'll just me press into it and then slide down. Versus me throwing myself into it. Yeah. But in the wide, I'm like, no, let me.
I'm gonna commit to that.
Fly out of this fucking room.
Yeah.
And hit.
Yeah.
But that's what's fun about it is. Yeah, you still are not fun about it. You were saying that it hurts.
Mm-hmm. Still hurts. Still. I mean, like you're okay. Like, you don't got broken bones and stuff. But
you're like, oh,
your body's still taking the impact.
Yeah.
You know,
that's fun. That's our competitive side.
Yeah.
I kind of enjoys it.
Which aspect of the creative process of acting and filmmaking is where you want to
end up? Like, what's the goal? I'd say this is what I always explain. I love doing what I'm doing, no matter what medium or for what it's for. Mm-hmm. As long as I'm able to live and create with the people I love, like I said, that's the goal. I'm happy. And the main goal, though, like my fantasy, I guess, is, John Krasinski from The Office.
Which one's that?
Jim.
Okay.
Yeah, so having a route like that, meaning like he was Jim in The Office. Obviously, that was a show that went on. People fell.
That's the main character, right?
Yeah, the guy that always gets in fights with Dwight.
Yes.
Not the boss, but
Glasses?
No.
No, whose glasses?
Dwight.
Dwight. Okay.
The guy who loves Pam.
Got it.
Okay. No, but John Krasinski's very similar, I feel like, to his character in that. People fall in love with that actor. And then he started doing other stuff. So, like, was it Jack Reacher, I think was?
Yeah.
That action movie with him.
It's killing it right now. On Prime.
Is it? Oh, okay. It's on Prime. Sorry. I thought you were going to say it just came out. And I was like, that's not the movie then.
Oh.
No,
it's
but
a TV show.
Yeah, he came out and did more movies outside of it. And then he stepped aside and did A Quiet Place.
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
he wrote that and directed it.
He wrote it.
I believe so.
Oh, sick.
I mean, hopefully no one fact checks me and they're like, wrong. No, but that was his little baby, his little passion project.
Yeah.
And then he did Imaginary Friends, with the girl from Walking Dead, Kaylee Fleming, I think is her name. And then, with all the Imaginary Friends.
Yeah.
If you saw that, it's a great movie.
I haven't seen
Kids
it.
movie, but
Watch it.
I'm a child.
Yeah.
I watched it.
I feel like everyone has a little bit of a child in them.
Yeah.
I feel like
you're
all of
weird.
our friends, I feel like LA is just a ton of older kids.
Oh, absolutely. Well, that's especially in the arts.
Yeah.
And the good people in the arts are the ones that are just kids.
Still, like in their
Playing.
60s and stuff.
Yeah.
70s.
Yeah.
80s.
If you're doing it for fun and you feel youthful, you're good. You're good. If you're doing it for
I watched my first award show,
which one?
the SAG Awards.
Okay.
And
Thoughts? What are your
yeah, so it
your
made me
review?
realize like, oh, all these guys are just playing. They're being creatives, and they're not kids.
No.
They're just adults like having fun and becoming different people, like you said. And I was like, oh, this is really admirable.
Yeah. You never know what you're going to be, I think is the fun thing about it. Editing, like you said, that's where I'm alone and you can lock in and just disconnect from the world. Acting, I always say, is more for the child at heart. Meaning, like, you never know who you're going to be, how you're going to dress up. I could be a CEO billionaire. In the past, I've got to return to baseball. Like, I got to put on a uniform. Yeah, I got to be a coach. And I remember one time I actually got to be a baseball player where they got shots of you, like, fielding ground balls again. And you never know who or what scenario you'll be in.
Yeah. What does that do for you?
Like, what do you mean?
Playing those parts. Playing those parts, like becoming a baseball coach again, becoming a player.
Well, that's the baseball stuff, like, that's fun just because I don't play anymore. I mean, I play softball from time to time with my friends back home for our alumni tournament, but I'm a little scared to do that again because, dude, these are grown adults hitting piss missiles. Like, and I'm playing third now. I used to play first for them.
Third's like the hardest?
Because you're, 40 feet away?
Yeah.
And they're ripping these balls down the sideline. And it could take a bad hop, and one of my biggest fears is...
Ooh, to the dome, to the moneymaker.
I would be so sad.
To the moneymaker.
Yeah, to the moneymaker.
Yeah.
Because, whatever, you can get surgery, but...
Were you scared of getting hurt and getting your face distorted in the Beast games?
No. Not at all. No.
You don't know what they make you do.
Oh, I was ready for it all.
Yeah?
They didn't do anything that I expected, but...
How was that?
Yeah.
How was that experience?
What was the original? The
creative stuff. Yeah, what does it do for you?
Nothing. It satisfies that. It does nothing. I don't give a shit.
Zero.
No, it just, it satisfies that, that side of you. I used to always play with my action figures and stuff like that, like create Batman scenarios, where you would have the villains get pushed through the window, your toy set and stuff like that. When I would play Barbies with my sister, I would go all out. Like
on Barbies?
Oh, yeah. Meaning, like, put them through serious drama. More like someone would catch the other cheating on them. Keep in mind, I was, like, playing with she was probably, like, 4 or 5 at the time. And I'm putting these characters through cheating scandals.
What age are you?
Probably, like, we're always 10 years apart. So if she's 5, I'm probably 15.
So you're watching too much South Park.
Something. Yeah. But, no, I was
like, South Park had cheating scandals for sure.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
No, this is like, I was giving them drama. I was creating stories. They would get in car accidents. I would tape up their feet in, like, paper towels and, like, make these emotional stories so it satisfies that, I don't know, that playful, youthful nature.
When I hear things like this from actors, friends, creatives that I have in my life, I'm just like, was I not a normal kid?
Yeah,
I don't remember doing that.
What did you do? Nerd.
So my mom during summer, I've told the story recently, we didn't really have like a summer. Like she'd make me, since I didn't do like that good in school, like I was a solid like a B+, A-, and good. These Asian parents, this culture, it's like A+ only. We do like, my mom would give me like my own math book for the summer. And be like, you have to do 20 pages of math problems before you go out. And by the time I'm done with these math problems, it's like 6 p.m. I'm like, the kids are inside already, you know? What? So yeah, every summer until like, including high school.
What?
And
that's crazy.
And like video games will rot your brain.
Yeah.
So like I think I only played Guitar Hero and Dance Dance Revolution, and I have a Switch.
And math.
And math.
Math and Dance Dance.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
No, I know. And I was just like, I think
how long did that went on through high school?
All with the high school. Yeah. And so I feel like right now when you're telling me this,
Do you have friends?
I have friends, I think so. Now?
Like from back home?
Yeah.
Okay.
But mostly high school.
That's crazy.
They bonded together. We did math problems together. They helped me get it done before. And I'm kidding.
They were like, you're going to be able to get out of here.
No, but when I hear you say these things, I'm just like,
yeah.
Oh, like these things are still possible. Like, oh, I have, like, I'm trying to unlock the inner child lately. Like, for the last few years, you know? Like, that's why I go out and I'm like, hey, guys, do you want to, like, learn how to kettlebell flip? Or do you want to go learn this thing?
One day I'll take you up on that.
Let's do it.
It just looks crazy.
I know. To be honest, the only person who just kind of figured it out is Christina.
Yeah, I know.
Which is kind of crazy.
Yeah. Well, also, let me ask you this before we keep going. How the fuck did you teach yourself? Did you look up videos or?
So I just saw someone do it on Instagram, like 22.
People are always doing crazy stuff online.
And I was just like, that looks sick. And then I tried it and I was like, this isn't working. So I bought the dude's course.
Damn.
And I was obsessed with it I did it every day for like a month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. And now you're using, what was the one you recently used? You finally went up in weight.
28 kg.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is
61 pounds.
Damn.
No, I'm sore.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, because I'll be honest, I called you a bitch in the beginning because you were using the lightweight.
It's 20 pounds. That's slow.
I don't give a shit. You're using the lightweight one. I'm like, cool. Try it with the 44 pounder.
Yeah.
But now you're using 68.
Yeah.
Wait, really?
61 pounds. Yeah. Flipping that shit's hard.
No shit.
No, yeah.
Probably doesn't feel good either because you do those little like
the
hand bumps.
Yeah, no.
And then rips your shoulder off.
Rip your shoulder off.
Damn.
Yeah, so one person I did it with, like, tore his whatever. And so, whatever this guy is. And the next...
Are you in fitness, dude?
Yeah, I'm not. Elbow joint. But the
tricep.
The next day from right here, all the way down here was black. Like, and I was like, oh, that doesn't look correct.
No, that's not good.
Yeah. But no, unlocking this inner child, bro, just like, especially LA, there's so many people who are talented at random things.
Yeah.
And so when I see it, I'm like, let's do it.
Yeah.
And the biggest thing that I love about it is I realized that everyone say, hey, Zach, let's hang out sometime. Yeah, sure. Sounds good. I'll hit you up.
Yeah.
And it never happens.
No.
So every time I don't know if it's LA or just.
And don't get me wrong. I just stay at home. I don't do it. Like, I do want to hang out with people, but sometimes I'm just like, I turned on TV.
100%. Like, I'm not going out. So I realized that if someone says that, like, oh, yeah, sure, we could learn knitting sometime. Like, yeah, whatever. I'm like, yeah, let's put it on the calendar right now. Let's learn how to knit. Yeah. And I always dial it in, like, right away.
Yeah.
So every single week, I have, like, 2-3 people who I'm, like, fascinated with that I just want to go learn their play.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
You mean for the podcast or?
No, like
you actually go into
I'll go and like learn knitting and do their yoga shit and whatever it is.
That's crazy. Well, that's cool. You got a bunch of, it's fun learning new skills.
Yeah.
To pick it up and fail. Failing kind of feels fun sometimes.
Failing feels fun when you feel like you're getting better at it a little bit after a few minutes.
Yeah. Yeah. True. For sure. But
like, for example, my parents got me on pickleball recently.
Okay, I want to do that.
Have you played?
No, but I feel like I would.
Okay, we're gonna set up a pickleball date. Okay, we're gonna dominate.
Absolutely.
And after 10 games, I'm like, oh, I'm picking it up. But I have a friend who's the most uncoordinated human being in the world. And she was like, I'm never playing pickleball again. Because she failed all those times. Like, yeah, this ain't for me.
Yeah.
You know, so you have to get a little bit better at it to
for sure.
enjoy failing a little bit, in my opinion.
I don't know where I stand on this because I feel like maybe there's a chance you still can learn. You know what I mean?
No, it's definitely.
Yeah.
But it might take you 1,000 times. Like, are you
sure.
willing to put it
you're not
1,000
an expert.
reps?
What is it? Is what makes you an expert? 10,000 times?
I don't know.
There's a number.
10,000
You're not
hours.
an expert at something unless you do it 10,000 times.
Putting 10,000 hours?
Yeah.
I mean, that's
10,000 hours. That's
10,000
hours. It's
hours.
not 10,000 times.
Yeah.
Sorry. You can't just yo-yo 10,000 and be like, now I'm an expert.
Yo, did you yo-yo before?
No.
I was obsessed with yo-yo.
Nope.
Sounds
I couldn't
great.
hula hoop either.
Hula hoop?
Those are things that
hips
like
now, though,
took
bro.
like
You
now.
got, you got a fat ass.
I might be able to hula hoop. I might be able to hula hoop now. But in the
What are
past-
some skills right now that you're trying to get good at?
Muscle.
Muscle.
I mean, I'm obviously I know that, but meaning like the basics of it. But I love food. I love eating and trying to find that happy balance of what's the proper diet for me and what's the proper training regimen for me, I guess.
What is it currently?
Well, one thing I've changed recently in like size and whatnot is like, you know how they say 6 to 8 reps max weight for muscle growth?
Hypertrophy.
Yeah. The only thing that I've seen that I've changed recently that's helped with like size is I've gone for more effective reps.
Yeah.
Which just means getting to that point where like, let's say you do chest press for 10 reps, those
Really squeezing at the top.
8 and 9, when you hit to 8 and 9 reps, that moment where it starts getting hard.
Yeah.
Rest for a little bit, not like a full recovery.
Well, how long?
I mean 30 seconds to a minute.
Okay.
Then when you pick those weights back up, your rep range is now going to go lower to the point where like maybe around 3 or 4 you start feeling like these are heavy weights.
A 30 second to a minute rest for heavy weights, not a lot of time.
No. And so like that's what has changed my training style is getting to that point where little rest, heavy weight still, getting to that point where it's tough to get it up. And then just short rest in between to the point where maybe you're getting to 4 or 5 reps.
And you keep the same weight.
Like, yeah.
Keep the same weight.
Keep the same. Or, I mean, you could go up in weight. Say that first weight, you still did 10 reps easy. Just finding that perfect weight where basically eventually you get to the point where you get to 4 or 5 reps and it's like, I can't. Like with a lateral raise.
Yeah.
If you're just like, nope, that's it.
Yeah.
That's the one thing that I've changed. That I feel like
Going
I've
to
seen.
absolute failure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just something new I've never tried.
It's hard,
fun
bro. It's fun.
It's
now,
fun.
going to absolute failure is where the growth happens.
Yeah.
And it's where your muscles like feel absolute pain.
Yeah, and I love that feeling. Like when we were talking about it today in the gym, if you work a heavy chest day, you move your arm in the right way, and you feel like the pec like almost seize up for a second.
Yeah.
Like, oh, it's so fun. It's
You're like,
such
I
a-
like it.
You're like, damn.
I hate being sore, but love it at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not legs though. I skipped that.
Why?
Just kidding. Well,
You got
'cause
your dragon pistol squat though. I saw that.
Yeah. Did you see that?
That was wild.
You see that?
That hip mobility.
Yeah.
Did you work on your hip mobility?
No.
That's really impressive that you have that.
I got hips.
Do you know what the dragon pistol is?
The one where it goes the opposite way.
Yeah. All the way around.
Or where you wrap it around.
Where
It's
you wrap it
awful.
around.
It kills.
Kills.
Like it's definitely a hip.
And then your abs are super tight on the side.
Yeah, they like impinge.
Yeah, they impinge over there.
It's so fun. That's the competitive nature of sports or fitness that I love about it. That's why I like timed intervals.
Yeah.
Just because for some reason, if someone says this is the time you have to do this, it's so fun
Yeah.
to try and do that.
I feel like you would love CrossFit if you like that.
I do,
Yeah.
but I don't. I do and I don't.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I like when you walk into maybe like I took a CrossFit class one time. That one time where they're like, this is your time. You do this, do that.
Yeah.
I'm like, let's go.
Yeah, but not every day.
Not every day.
Like once a lifetime.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know if my joints could survive that.
So what's the diet like?
I am, what's it called? Moderation.
Moderation.
Right? I live in moderation. Yeah. I live in moderation. Basically, I try and eat somewhat good for like 5 days of the week.
That's good. That's better than 50%.
Yeah, exactly.
There's some people who are like, I don't get it. Like I eat healthy 4 days a week. And I was just like, that's less than 70%, right?
Usually go for about 5. And then I love like, depending on when you can hit it, I love Chipotle.
Yeah.
Getting a big old meal right before bed.
Yeah.
And just,
before bed.
That's what I'm saying. Well, say you get done like coaching, like a late evening class, getting a big old like double rice, double meat, double everything, and come home. I've been I do the TikTok trend.
Oh, what's the TikTok trend?
You go home, so you get a bowl. That way you get more portions.
Yes.
You get the double rice, double meat, all that stuff. Side tortilla. Come home, wrap your own burrito. Because I used to work at Chipotle. That's a whole other story. Do I tangent now or do I finish this?
Now.
I'll tangent after this. I was known as the burrito guy, basically. It's a little teaser for it. But you make your own burrito, wrap it up, put cheese on the skillet, wait for the cheese to bubble, put your burrito on the cheese.
Ooh.
And basically you're making a grilled cheese burrito. And so once it hardens and crispens, like after you've toast the burrito, just hard cheese on the outside.
That's fire.
That's my favorite thing.
What did they call that? Vampire taco? That's a vampire burrito.
Yeah. That's what I'm doing.
That sounds fire.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying is I love... Dude, my creations are crazy. I'm that guy.
Food creations?
I'm that guy in a gym where don't say anything about any bad food.
Okay.
Because I'll start going on a tangent.
Yeah.
Things I shouldn't say as a personal trainer.
Sure.
Like if someone says In-N-Out. Know what I go into? Have you ever gone to McDonald's and In-N-Out? Gotten a McChicken from McDonald's, put it on your double, and then gotten a large fry from McDonald's, take it home, melt cheese on it, and then put your spread on top, and then you have your own good fries.
Wait, have you done that?
Yeah.
That's a lot of work.
Yeah. But I take pride in it. It tastes better. You're just
Are you documenting this at least?
I take pictures, yeah. I take pictures of all my food creations at McDonald's. Here, now we're getting into this. At McDonald's for breakfast. Okay. You get a chicken biscuit on the side.
I've never had a chicken biscuit from McDonald's.
I don't think they sell them out here, actually.
I don't think
it's like a chicken patty on a biscuit.
I've never heard of that.
So yeah, you get a hash brown.
It's an Ohio thing?
I think. Well, that's the only place where I asked for a side chicken patty. They're like, okay, I know what that is.
I think the Ohio might have more chickens.
I guess. It's weird. I come out here.
Their
I'm
eggs
like,
are probably cheaper.
I guess. I don't know, but I went
California eggs are like $12 right now, guys.
It's wild. No, but McDonald's.
Chicken biscuit.
Bacon, egg, and cheese McGriddle.
Bacon,
hash brown.
I love a McGriddle.
And you get a chicken patty on the side. You put it all together.
You're making me hungry, bro. I haven't had McDonald's in a minute.
There goes your July.
6-pack is gone because of Zachary Rist from the Nate Biltz Podcast.
I'll see you in a couple months. Just like.
So what's the healthy 5 days?
It's a bit boring. I wish it was better. But rice, some kind of variation of chicken, some hummus.
What's a variation of chicken?
Just sometimes I'll put this powder on it, or sometimes I'll put that on it.
I don't like chicken breast.
I don't either.
I'm trying.
But there's more fat in the whole thigh thing.
I know. Thighs are good though,
They're so
bro.
good. They're so tender.
Thighs are good. I've been on the thigh game. I do chicken thighs every day, and then ground beef every day.
Damn.
Yeah.
It's just so boring.
Chicken thighs?
Everything.
Eating
right.
Eating right is boring. It's the same
but
shit.
But it's good. It's fine. Like, it's good for your health.
I just started putting pineapples in every meal.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's less boring.
For sure. I like a little peach mango salsa.
Peach mango salsa. I feel like that has more calories than no.
I think it's low. No, I'll check when I get home.
No, I know exactly which salsa it is, bro. That shit is sugar. What? It's like 100 calories per serving.
Okay. I'm not eating it all. That's the thing is if you eat less of it, you're not getting the full calorie count.
It's fire though.
Yeah. Like if you have Cheetos, if you don't eat all 21 of your serving Cheetos, you're not going to get the full 160.
No, you're right. But we always eat the full serving.
No.
No?
Not me.
Not you?
Maybe. I'm a chip guy.
If you had what's the cheat meal? Absolute. Like everything.
Oh, no.
Like
everything?
Everything.
Well, I think I would turn it. Well, I'm going to change your question a little bit. Your last meal type thing.
Okay, last meal.
You went to prison, you're going to die.
Okay.
Okay. I would make it a mukbang.
I don't know what that is.
A mukbang is one of those videos where people get like a plethora of food. Like it could be from different restaurants, a bunch of different things. They sit there on a mic and they just eat.
I feel like that's too much.
That's what I would do for my last meal.
Okay, what is it?
I would eat everything that I love, which, like I said, it'd be the Chipotle burrito creation for sure.
Okay.
Grilled in cheese. Probably.
I gotta try that.
Yeah, you should. It's crazy. And then definitely, I don't know, Wendy's hits.
Wendy's nuggets hit.
They're so good. So maybe some Wendy's nugs.
Throw the Frosty upside down, dip a nug up there.
Oh my God. Now we're talking. It'd be something like that.
Well, what's the Chipotle story? Steak? I like the steak.
17, 19 jobs, whatever.
Yeah.
That was at the time I was working Chipotle.
Here?
In LA.
Wow.
Yeah.
You did Chipotle out here?
Yeah.
I thought this was like a high school job.
No. This was out here. Well, I was in need of money. I remember trying to get a job at like Amazon warehouse factory.
That shit's hard.
And
it's like 3 a.m.
Well, I wanted to do it. I needed money. And they canceled my interview. This dicks. I drove all the way out there. They were like, sorry, we're not taking anymore. And I was like, what?
Rude.
So got a job at Chipotle. Love the food.
Okay.
But,
free Chipotle meals? Eating healthy all day.
Only when you work, though.
Oh, that's lame.
So
that kind of makes sense.
During your 10-minute break, you have to slam a Chipotle meal.
You can definitely do that.
Oh, you can.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't feel good. Meaning, like, when you return to work, like, you're all just like, oh, because you can get guac, all that stuff for free.
Yeah.
But the day I quit was when 2 people came in, boyfriend, girlfriend.
Oh, no.
I'm on the line, as I always was. And the dude comes in, he's like, that's him. That's the guy. And I was like, what? He's just like, you're the guy. I tell her all the time, you rap the best burritos. And I remember being so proud, but at the same time, here I am in LA, the burrito guy. And that's when I was like, I need to leave.
Wow, a compliment made you quit Chipotle.
Yeah, we'll get into the idea of like, I need to leave.
Yeah.
Find a new job.
Yeah.
But then that's when F45 came in.
Oh, perfect timing.
Yeah.
But, dude, that's the whole concept of how you do anything is how you do everything.
No.
I never worked with you at F45, but the amount of people, I'm giving you some flowers right now, that were like, Zach's energy, like, is infectious. Like, he's the best coach. He might not know what he's doing, but he's still the best coach.
What do you mean? Did they say, what do you mean I don't know what I mean?
Like, you just started.
Oh.
This was in the beginning.
Oh, okay. I was about to find these people.
No, this was like 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah. No, I was new into the whole thing.
Yeah, you were new to the whole thing. But regardless of that, they still said you were the best coach at WeHo.
That's weird.
Which is,
at WeHo. Nice.
But you didn't work at Studio City yet.
No.
It was just WeHo.
Okay.
Yeah,
sorry, I'm just sorry. I'm mentally planning on who I need to attack. Find who said this.
They might or may not be there right now.
Yeah, I hope that. No, but yeah.
But like, it's just like editing, everything. Like, you just have to give it your full effort because everyone doesn't like people who don't try.
Yeah. Well, it's no matter what you're doing, like even people in general. That's what you're saying. It's just like, be there.
Wrap good burritos.
Give your best at everything because, like, I mean, my dad always said, like, you will be rewarded. I mean, maybe sometimes, like, you won't be appreciated for your best work, but in the end, like, I mean, you could change someone's day, whether it's me in the beginning being just, like, a brand new coach that was just, like...
But they still fucked with you.
They still enjoyed that time. Or wrapping burritos. That dude fucking loved my burrito.
Wild.
Dude,
that is wild.
Told his girlfriend about how great it was. Like, those little moments.
So, like, the burrito that you wrap at home and grill on the cast iron or whatever, it's on point.
Oh, on point.
It's on point.
Exact Chipotle.
You'll take a girl home for a date and be like, yo, watch this.
Wait, I'll make mini burritos. That's my favorite.
Wow.
Going to like a Mongolian barbecue. You ever had that place?
No.
It's basically like a Mongolian style of Japanese steakhouse, I guess.
Like Mongolian beef.
Yeah, you make your you make your bowls, they do the skillet thing and then they give it to you. They have little tortillas. I love making tiny baby burritos. Wow. That's my little party trick.
What do you think about all these ideas, bro?
No, what do you mean? What ideas?
The small burritos. Who thinks about that?
That's what I'm saying. That's why
the scary lamp, bro.
Yeah, it's the.
Do you have a book of ideas, especially for videos and stuff?
Usually I put them in my phone because they're just like things you're doing. I could have a conversation, like I said in the beginning. you could say a normal conversation, but for some reason my brain's always thinking the what if. Like, what if you said that differently, or what if this is the information you were trying to deliver to me? And then from there, you kind of laugh and you're like, I need to put that in my phone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you just have a Rolodex there, and then you kind of...
You can like pick and choose. You can be like, I want to develop that one more. And
then you make a video based on it.
Yeah. And that's where it all comes from.
Circling back around to the Beast games.
Oh, yeah. Yes, yeah, exactly. There. What about it?
So, obviously...
I didn't win.
You didn't win?
Nope.
Why not?
Fucking loser.
Was it hard?
For me? It was... Yeah, it was...
How far did you make it?
Episode 2.
You failed episode 2?
I didn't fail it.
On purpose?
Some other nerd did. You want to hear?
Yeah.
So I put a lot of pressure on Beast games, meaning like it finally felt like there's a chance I could be rewarded for everything I was doing, if that makes sense.
No, it doesn't.
Sorry. Why doesn't it make sense? No, all my life, not to get all like sappy or whatever, but I feel like I'm passionate about what I do. And like I've been doing the videos forever and stuff. And even those little schmucks that said like, only took us a year before we took off.
Sure. After
a while, you question yourself. What is my purpose? When will I be appreciated for what I offer? Like, cause like anything that anyone says to me, it means the world. Like it's so cool when
all the compliments.
Yeah. Or like in comment sections, even if it touches, there was someone that like a while ago on my YouTube, I mean, I've averaged like maybe 100 views on a video I'll put up on there and stuff like that. And like, there was this one person that like was always there and I did not know them. And they were always talking about like what they meant to them. And that always
what you meant to them.
Yeah. Those videos, watching them, seeing like just them appreciating what I was putting out. Always feels so good. So I'm not taking away from that. But after a while, like you start questioning yourself. Am I going down the right path? Is this actually what I'm meant to do? Because you'll see other people only took them a year to take off. And you're like, I'm still learning lessons in life and trying to figure out how to become the best version of myself and get to my path. I put pressure on Beast games. I thought it was going to be that. If that makes sense. Meaning, like, obviously, the further you make it in a reality show, the more screen time you get, the more people will come over to you, and then the more opportunities arise from the games.
Yeah, there was a lot of people who did well in Beast games that got on to, like, 1,000 podcasts.
Yeah, so you go on, you talk about your story, you go, whatever, you build followers, and then you're free to do whatever you want.
Yeah.
If that makes
You just get brand deals.
Yeah. You just say, well, yeah, you're appreciated for just being a person. Yeah. And that was the one thing that I
mean, I feel like you're appreciated for being a person.
Yeah. I'm not saying I'm not appreciated. I'm just saying in the sense my outlets for opportunities
would be greater than
open. Yeah. I would be, you would get more opportunities to create just because of the time.
We talked about earlier. It's like you will have more time and backing to put all of it into
what you want.
These Rolodex of ideas on your phone.
Yeah. So I put a lot of pressure on that. So I was fucking destroyed when that was over because it was so cool. I think the coolest thing about it, what I love about filmmaking, what I learned during this time was just filmmaking and entertainment. You leave your world and you take on new challenges with new people. So like when you go on set, you work with someone for like a week. Like you build these little families with people. You're not thinking about your financial issues. You're not thinking about anything else but these people on set. And it's one of the greatest feelings ever. And that's what I loved about Beast Games and learned about it was I was so crushed. One, the opportunities that wouldn't arise from it. But two, we literally lived in a city with a bunch of beast idiots. Meaning like...
How long?
I was there for the first episode shot in Canada for about 5 days it took. So that 45-minute episode, that was a 5-day process.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And so like if you watch those moments with did you watch?
The Circle?
No. Which one?
Where you can't get out of the circle?
No, I was going to say, did you watch the first episode of Beast Games?
That wasn't Beast Games?
No.
I think I watched the wrong thing then. What was that?
Beast Games is the Amazon Prime show.
I didn't watch that yet.
Oh my God.
I thought that was, I was like, where's Zach at? Bro?
No, Zach's not in, dude. Oh my God. Yeah, Beast Games is on Amazon Prime.
Okay. I did my wrong
and
homework,
you'll see. I'm actually in. I'm so thankful I got this because I know a lot of people that didn't get this opportunity. They used some of my vlog footage in episode 2.
Sick.
So it starts the episode off, and
starts it off.
I'm like,
oh shit.
yo, no, but
you vlogged it.
Yeah,
you were allowed to vlog it.
They broke the world record for most cameras on a production or whatever. Wow. So there were so many GoPros, so many people running around shooting us. But in the first episode, there's a moment where we had to, it's crazy. Picture like a bigger block than this, but stacked vertically, just like this small rectangular cube.
Yeah.
You had to stack, I think it was 16 blocks, all different shapes and sizes, squares, circles, triangles. Okay. And you had to stack a tower, 16 of them, on a vertical platform.
Okay.
10 minutes, you had to build your tower. If it fell off, you were eliminated.
Okay.
Just the shaking process.
It's not teams or anything.
No, this was the one individual challenge that I got to experience, which I thought it was going to be more of. Because then it's your skill that's being tested versus luck.
Yeah.
And it was so crazy. But what I was going to say is...
This was episode 1.
Episode 1, yeah. This is what I was saying about the 5-day process. We built our towers. If you survived, they said, all right, we're going to check the cameras, see if 100 towers have fallen. You had to sit there in the episode. I think it's like 45 to a minute and a half that they show of us just sitting there frozen. That was like a 2 to 3 hour process.
Oh, wow.
Where you were just like this. And you just had to be careful because you were on a foam platform. And if you move, you could tip your tower. Oh, and it was so funny because it's so silent in that room. You would just be sitting there and while they're counting, you would just hear a tower fall and you'd hear, oh, no. And it was so scary. Even
how many people?
Well, they got to the number they needed, but even my tower fell after about 30 minutes after the 10 minutes were up.
Okay.
I was sitting there talking to my friend and it fell onto my back. And I remember being crushed because if 100 people's towers did not fall before mine, I was done and I go home. I don't even make it to the city. Which is but
you made it to the second.
Yeah, okay. Which is the city, which is so funny because we were all a bunch of idiots in that room. Like, he's offering you $100,000 to eliminate your whole row. And all of us are like, we want to go to the city. Like a bunch of...
Oh, so did anyone do it?
Yeah, tons of people did it. And that was what was so scary. I'm lucky to even have gotten to
because they could have... someone on your row.
Or you could have self-eliminated and then basically my whole row's out. So I'm lucky I even made it to the city. It was all luck based.
But you could have made 100K.
I know. If I could go back, which they're doing season 2, definitely probably gonna apply. I'm taking the first fucking bribe. I've seen the city. I don't need it.
What's the city?
He spent $15 million, built an entire city with this big old tower in the background. There was basketball courts, soccer. There was table tennis. There were bikes. Feastables Cafe, where they'd serve us lunch like little hamsters. It was so funny.
What the fuck?
Literally, Feastables Cafe was a bunch of windows, and when it was dinner time, they would start putting our little trays in the window. And then
Did you feel like you were in a simulation, bro?
Oh, it was crazy. We're a bunch of fucking dummies in their blue uniforms with their numbers.
It's kind of like prison.
Yeah. Oh, it was crazy. They would, as soon as lunch was served, the trays would go up. 500 people would rush to those cabinets and try and grab their lunch so they could go have it with their friends and stuff like that. So it'd just be a massive pileup of people. Oh, and wow. I remember looking just like, you do look like a bunch of hamsters. We moved into that city, which is crazy. Most days we would shoot from...
Is this in Canada still?
Yeah. Most days you'd shoot for 15 to 18-hour days inside these arenas or whatever. And then the day we moved into the city, I think we wrapped episode 1 at God, dude, it was 4:30 in the morning, 5 a.m. I'm dog shit tired. Mm-hmm. I'm cranky when I'm tired. I'm hungry. We were fed a ton, but I'm hungry all the time. Not enough.
The inner fat boy.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, where's the other meal?
Yeah.
No, but 4:30 in the morning, they shuttle all 500 of us over to where the city was. There's some delay that we're on these buses, sweating. I'm tired of shit. I want to go to bed, but we have to move into the city and film it. And I remember moving in because at this point it's 5:30 in the morning, sun's coming up. MrBeast is like, welcome to the city. They open the gates. All of us idiots run in. People are, I've never seen so many basketballs shot, but there was a whole basket of basketballs. Everyone was throwing them in the hoops. Random people drove by me on bikes, and you're like, where the fuck did they get bikes? We were just a bunch of idiots running through the city and moving into your cottage, which was like camp. They were like bunk beds inside a dorm, and you would sleep. The boys slept with the boys, and the girls were in their girl dorms. The showers. This is when I was pissed. I was like, why'd I go to the city? 1 minute showers is what they advised, because otherwise we'd run out of hot water.
Okay.
And I was like, fuck this, dude. Why did I move to the city? I have to sleep in a bunk bed where people snore next to you. 1 minute
How close
showers.
are they?
Oh, I mean, like, I think each cot slept probably about, like, there's probably about 25 or 30 to 50 beds in there that slept. Because I think there was 5 for the dudes, 5 for the girls.
Okay. For each like cabin or whatever it's called.
Yeah. So there's probably about 15.
And do you get paid to be on the show?
Yeah, you got so they paid you, it was $1,000 for Vegas, which was the tryouts basically. If you survived those 4 competitions, which is a YouTube video, you moved on to the Amazon show.
Okay.
And then you got $1,000 for that for being eliminated. Which
So a lot less than 100K.
yeah.
Yeah, well, the thing that's funny about it is, like, I've listened to a lot of his podcasts, and he's like, it's crazy the amount of people who don't take the bait.
Yeah, no, we're dumb. We're all in our, and they did.
Well, it's that whole community thing. Like, you build friendships right away, right?
Well, that's what I've seen people review the show. They're like, I don't get it. Why are these people not sacrificing each other and saying we're all friends? But we spent 18-hour days next to each other.
Yeah.
Like, you built that community. In Vegas, we literally lived inside Raiders Stadium for 4 days straight.
Oh, that must have been cool.
It was such an experience, but Vegas was crazy. Vegas was wild. Like, that was a little less. I was living off chocolate bars, meaning like.
Are his chocolate bars good, by the way?
They're delicious. I think they're fucking fantastic. I don't know
the way he talks about the chocolate industry and what he studied, I was like,
I love them. I think they're great. No, but in Vegas, they would feed us, but the meals were ass. Like, literal, like, sealed packages, chicken probably about like this big.
Okay.
A color that you're like, what kind of chicken is pink? Like, it wasn't undercooked, but it was like meal. You'd get quinoa and like a little bit of veggies. Shit that you were like, I don't want to eat this. And so I would eat 3 chocolate bars a day. Because
that's a decent amount of calories.
Well, so you get your meal, which was probably max 500 calories. You get
small.
3 of those.
It's that small.
Yeah. So then if I had 3 chocolate bars, that's 300 calories a chocolate bar. I'm still technically at a deficit for someone my size.
Yeah. Because what, you're 6'2"?
Yeah, 6'3".
6'3". Yeah. You're like, give me my inch, bro.
Hold on. No, but
I also walked up to you today. I was like, I don't remember Zach being this tall, bro.
People say I keep growing. I'm eating right, I guess. It's all those burritos and concoctions I make.
Oh, for sure.
No, but
they definitely have the right protein in there.
Oh, they do.
Yeah.
Amongst massive amounts of salt and fat and carbs. Yeah.
But I feel like all the workouts that you do are super calorie burning. Like, because the rest too for what you're talking about, that's super low rest.
Yeah.
Hello, friends. I hope you are enjoying the show. I just wanted to chime in and talk to you about Bucked Up. If you need more protein in your diet, creatine to aid your muscle growth as well as recovery, or pre-workout for your demanding sets during your workouts, Bucked Up has you covered. I use their Snickerdoodle protein and creatine monohydrate every single day. And on days I don't feel like working out, their BAMF nootropic pre-workout keeps me swinging kettlebells, running mountains, moving weight inside and outside the gym. If you'd like to try them out and save some money, use code NateBiltz1 for 20% off any order. And back to the show. No, yeah, my dad used to do like every used car that we got. It was like the best deal.
Craigslist. Get it from
Craigslist.
It's crazy.
Now it's like Facebook Marketplaces. So.
Yeah, that's basically. Have you seen those videos online of people that fuck with people on Facebook Marketplace?
No, what is it?
I don't know. They just fucking. What is it? There's a dude. He like says, like he'll send him a voice message and say like, I'm really interested in your skillet. Can you please cook an egg on it for me? And then they'll record him cook an egg. And he's like, thank you for the video, But I don't like the way you cooked your egg. Could you please add salt and pepper to it next time? And they'll
do it.
They'll do it. And then eventually they catch on where they're like, I'm not doing that. Or like
I'm not.
Can you put the pan on your head? And
what's the purpose of that?
It's just funny, dude.
Oh.
I think it's hilarious.
You would do that.
No. I let other. I'm not as
You wouldn't prank someone like that.
No, I'm not.
Evil.
Yeah. I mean, there's some kind of like moral, like
high ground.
Because I get annoyed if I ask for someone's help in general.
Oh, okay.
Meaning, like, say I'm moving, I'm the type of person that would probably put myself through immense amount of pain, try and get all my shit out myself, load it up into my car, rather than being like, hey man, I'm moving today, can you help me? And then, so the idea
have you had both?
What?
Like, have you moved by yourself and then have you moved with a ton of people?
No.
I
feel like it's always just
been by yourself?
myself moving my stuff. And like, that's what I'm saying is, so pranking someone like that, I already feel like a disturbance asking someone for a simple favor. So if I was in their life fucking telling them to do stuff, I don't know if I could.
Yeah, I definitely feel that. I moved by myself my first 3 moves in LA.
Yeah.
Ass. Last 2 moves, I had 10 friends show up. Shit was
so good.
Easy.
It's so easy. You just go.
I just brought alcohol and coffee and donuts.
What's the best way to move?
And a fat speaker. Yeah, was Beast Games fun though? Like overall?
Yeah. Oh, dude, so fun.
What takeaways did you have? You said you learned about film production and stuff from that. I don't know.
Yeah. I think I was talking about the food, meaning in Vegas, that was tough, survival skills, whatever.
Not the survival skills.
Yeah. That was the fun thing. I was like, I'm not gonna. Well, because I remember I don't know, this is funny, but afterwards, once again, I'm a little petty dude. I get a little whiny sometimes.
You're mad you didn't give people up for 100K.
Yeah. But after Vegas, I was so sleepy. We were up for the last day. I think we shot, because they love shooting at night because it looked better. So we would shoot from like 10 p.m. until 8 a.m. every day. Okay. So bad. And they screwed up the shuttles and stuff like that. Like, they couldn't get me a room, and I'm such a whiny little guy, because they put us up in Vegas in hotel rooms, and I'm so whiny. They're like, "Oh, we screwed up the reservation." I was just like, "I'm just gonna fucking drive home, and I don't care if I die."
Seriously,
dude, I wanted to, and my friends were like, "You can sleep on my couch," and I was like, "I'm not fucking sleeping on your couch. I'm gonna drive home. I don't care." Yeah. But eventually, I slept in my car and then got a room. But yeah, so Canada was total different experience. So fun.
Did you know anyone actually in the games?
One of my best friends from college had not seen this girl since 2019 when I graduated. Yeah. Randomly came up to me in Vegas. Like, we were it was the first time we entered the arena, and then across the field, I'm just kind of walking around, just taking things in, and then we'd see each other. And it was the first time we saw each other. And it was so cool to reconnect with her. Because she worked at the same place I worked at in school, and she was just a big part of my life, and we worked together a lot, so it was cool.
Did you go to college in Ohio as well?
No, I was out here at USC.
Oh, USC, yeah.
And it was so cool to reconnect with her. The friendships that I made, I still got a good group of
beasties.
Yeah, beasties, yeah. Speaking of the beasties, it's so crazy. These people have group chats on like Instagram and talk to each other every day. I don't say shit in these things.
What do they say?
Just, I don't know. Sometimes people say good morning, and I'm like, go, move on. Like,
some people don't have a lot of friends though.
Yeah, no, it's
I feel like,
I'm not judging them, but still, when I wake up at fucking 5:45 in the morning to coach, and someone's in this chat trying to have, I'm like, dude, fuck. No, but I made some great friends. Ones that I still see, and those are the connections that you'll hold for a long time. Yeah. And I think the cool thing about it that I learned was,
you guys went through this traumatic experience together.
We the way we got out, before I get into what I learned, so stupid. Not even mind control. But it was a simple game of catch, my sport. I chose a token. It said, "Hope you can catch." I can catch. I play baseball. I got on my team, found all my people with the same token. We were all, like, I was paired up with a lot of my friends, which was crazy.
Sick.
Which it was a game of chance. Only a couple of them traded to be on my team, but most of the people who had that token, they were my friends. Mm-hmm. And so it was cool. You were all with your friends. You knew you were all going to be okay because you trusted them. There's one guy, he came up to me, and he's like, did you play sports when you grew up? I was like, yeah, baseball. Yeah. And I was like, what about you, buddy? He was just like, oh, I was the number 1 wide receiver on my team, super good at baseball. And like at the time, I didn't look at it like that was weird. But after what happened, simple game of catch. Ceiling is made out of like Swiss cheese holes. Guards from the ceiling will drop these red rubber balls about yay big.
From the ceiling.
From the ceiling.
And you have to catch
Swiss cheese. So you don't know where.
Swiss cheese?
Meaning like there's holes. Yeah. You'd see the ball come down, but you don't know which hole exactly it'll drop from. So it comes down. You're on a team of like 65 people. Plenty of people to catch a ball. Just catch the fucking ball. We had like a leadership issue too where people were like, we need catchers and we need holders. And I was like, me and my buddies, we were like, we're taking this quadrant. We don't need holders. We need people that are just going to be there to catch. Like everyone can catch. Yeah. So be there, call it out, catch it, back each other up. And game starts, bounces around. We win. We won.
Oh, dope.
Our tower lit up green. We celebrated. This is what's crazy. They don't show it in the show, but we got interviewed, like meaning cameras were in our face. We celebrated with MrBeast, raised him up, like did this whole like, yeah, cheer thing. One of the guys on our team, as we're leaving the tower, goes up to a producer and says, I got to be honest. I dropped the first ball. And I remember I was leaving and we got stopped and someone told me that guy's going around saying he dropped the first ball. And we were all like, shut the fuck up. Even though that's a bad way to win. When in sports, have you ever seen an NFL wide receiver bobble a ball? Like when they show the replay, get the call forward, go up to the ref and say, I got to be honest, I bobbled it. No, they take that yard advantage and they move forward and march down the field. Yeah. You know what I mean? But that's a
very good analogy.
Yeah, this kid went up to the producer, told him I dropped the ball. I swear I did. They looked through all the camera angles. None of their cameras caught it because there were so many of us up there. But he kept running his mouth. You see a little bit of it in the show. One of my buddies, he like went up to him and said, it's time for a timeout. You're sitting down right here. Just because he kept talking. We were all like, shut up. This is not, he was like trying to be noble. And we were like, you're being a bitch. Stop. They eventually removed a camera from the ceiling that wasn't supposed to come down. It was mounted up there for extra coverage later. Removed the SD card. And that was the camera that had something that my dad would have disowned me over. Meaning like it was a video where the ball comes down, good, boom, hits the floor. First ball. And
it's the first one.
Very first ball that was dropped. He dropped it. And he was the guy that swore he was the number 1 wide receiver, like talked a big game like that. And
and he was honest.
What?
He's the one who ratted everyone out.
He was the dude that dropped the first ball and ruined it for 65 of us. And it was so funny because I was all...
Wait, 65 people were on that?
Yeah, 65 people were eliminated in that game. And it was me and...
But you guys celebrated.
Yeah, well, that's what's crazy is that dude took away the win. On the show, they make it look like the control room caught it and we never celebrated. But in the end, that's what's so frustrating about it is we were leaving.
Wow.
And but ultimately, this is kind of cool. The guy that did win it was on the other team. So if we would have won, the dude, which I believe is such a great guy and also was fighting for a really important reason for his kid.
Yeah.
He has some kind of protein deficiency or something where basically...
The guy with the beard, right?
Yeah. He doesn't age his son isn't able to develop as fast because of some protein deficiency, I think it is.
Sure.
So he's like mentally 2, but 7 years old. And so he's trying to find a cure for that.
Dang.
And he was on the other team. So if we would have won, he would have been eliminated. So whatever.
Sheesh.
It's all right. Things happen for a reason.
Things happen for a reason, baby.
No, but it was so fun. I got eliminated. Made a lot of good friends. Learned I'm seeking something more in my life. There were certain things in my life that I was unhappy with back here, which is why I was fucking destroyed because I wasn't ready to face them yet.
Face them.
I thought I was going to be gone because you would have been gone till about like September 15th.
Oh, shit.
I was only gone for about 2.5 weeks.
Yeah.
I wasn't ready to come back. I was like, no. But yeah, it just, it was such an experience.
Now we got to face them.
Yeah.
I want to close, bro, with what advice do you have to two people who like are trying to get in the editing space? They see the Premiere Pro with 1,000 buttons, and they close it every single fucking time. Like, where does one start to get good at videography, photography, or film stuff, editing?
All right, so this is my answer that I've always wanted to give. I mean, I've thought about it because you know people say keep going, keep trying, don't give up. That's true. Don't give up. But where I'd change
you're never gonna figure it out, guys. Go to USC Film School.
Just get a normal job. No, so don't give up. But also, people need to know this shit's gonna be hard. Yeah. Meaning, like, I'm still. I don't even know why I'm giving advice now because I'm still trying to figure it out.
But the thing is, your skills are really good, bro.
Yeah, no, push yourself. Yeah. Learn, teach yourself. Don't rely on other people to teach you. Just because you can learn, you can teach yourself so much more. Yeah. And you're not going to learn by just copying what someone does. Mm-hmm. So learn the skills, challenge yourself, do other things that kind of push you to the next level. Know it's going to be hard. Meaning there's going to be moments where you think you should give up. Yeah. Or there's going to be moments where people, I don't know, just feel the need to step on you or do that. Just understand that if it makes you happy, keep fucking doing it. Yeah. But understand the journey is going to be hard. And as long as it makes you happy, you'll end up where you need to be.
In terms of the technical aspect of it.
What do you mean? So like with editing?
Yeah.
Like advice?
Yeah, I know. Like for example, like I'm not good at editing. Yeah. Right. Or I don't have the editing skills that you have. Right. Yeah. So if someone's trying to learn editing, what is do they need to learn how to clip frames, or do they know first, or do they need to know how to like sync audio and like all that stuff? Like obviously that's the only stuff that I know because that's all you have to deal with like a podcast.
I don't know. Pacing. Yeah, it's so important. Meaning like where your cuts happen, even if it's a podcast, like if we're talking right here, you could leave on your reaction a certain amount of time to make what I'm saying more flow better, I guess. So, yeah, I mean, pay attention to like movies. Like my dad used to always make me watch, like if you watch a movie, it's kind of rare that you ever see a shot last on screen for more than 7 seconds. Yeah. It depends because each scene's going to be different. Sure. If you watch a movie, there's quick pace, it slows down. Maybe speeds up a little bit. There's pacing that helps it flow better. But yeah, just pay attention to how things make you feel or how it feels to watch because it's so important. It ain't just cutting. You're not just cutting and putting something somewhere for some random reason. There's always a purpose with every choice you make.
So be intentional with everything.
Yeah, be intentional. There's a reason. Like music is even important. Meaning like why that sound? Yeah. Like why that specific instrument or even sound effects. Yeah. Like they call it sweetening. I mean, like if someone does that on a table, typically you have a Foley artist in there that's like making that sound. They'll record it to make it more than just what you just heard there. Yeah. Sometimes you'll hear sound effects in the background. Yeah. Maybe you can add little birds tweeting outside your house for this podcast.
That's what I'm saying, bro. I think I think you're selling yourself short when you're talking about all this stuff because like the amount of things that you know, a lot of people don't know. Yeah.
It's mine though. I'm not gonna give it away. Just kidding. I would share it all. Yeah. You just gotta ask me.
I think that's the new YouTube channel, bro. I feel like if you could document all the skills on there that you found out,
give them away.
Give them away.
Nah.
Okay.
They gotta work for it. Just kidding. I would always give my skills.
I feel like that's how like I feel like the biggest people give their shit away for free now.
Yeah. I mean,
and that's how they build the intention.
Like
or they go on Beast Games.
Yeah, exactly. And try and get out easy. No, I would give my tips. The tough thing about editing, some people say that to me. They're like, teach me how to edit. I'm like, I can't. Like I can tell you what command cuts. I can tell you how to drag things and import and stuff, but it really is. It's one of those things, even framing a shot, for example. Yeah. Some people don't, like my dad, he's so funny. Like when I got into film, he really started paying attention to how he frames up a shot on his iPhone if he takes a picture. And it's crazy. There's like these things called rule of thirds where it's basically 3 intersecting lines down, 3 this way. Yeah. Typically when you frame a shot, you want to put something on that intersection line. It just for some reason makes a picture look better. or you look for leading lines, certain things. That just means like if a power line is leading this way, that's where your eye is naturally going to travel. All these little things. But sometimes there is no eye to do it. Like my dad's like, no matter how hard I try, I can't fucking make a picture look good. And that's the thing, is editing is a lot of the time feeling. It's a lot of the time pacing and understanding how it flows, I guess. So I could never sit someone down and be like, cut there, which I could actually, but then
it would take way too much of your time and energy.
Yeah.
Just figure it out. You'll learn.
But keep doing it.
Yeah. I think we're going to end it there, bro.
It's going to be hard. What?
We're going to end it there.
Okay.
Was that fun?
Oh, we're done?
I think so.
Awesome.
Do you have anything else to tell the world? No. Zach Rist, everybody.
That's me.
Peace.